Alright, with the title being the way it is, you all should know by now that the chance of us talking about the actual Twitch leaks are close to 0%. That's for sure. Looking at last time when we talked about Halo Infinite and PvP games and more, and then we just ended up talking about and more the entire fucking time, and we didn't actually talk about any of the Halo stuff. Well, we did talk about some of the Halo stuff, but we didn't talk about like much of the Halo stuff. Today the stream is titled "Let's Talk About the Twitch Leaks," because oh boy, did something happen in between the last stream and now. I do think that we're definitely going to be talking a lot more about Twitch stuff. Before you get into anything, if you are on Twitch right now and you haven't reset your password yet, go ahead and do that right now. Go and reset your password, turn on two-factor authentication. I know I was never the biggest fan of like the two-factor authentication because that would mean giving my phone number to a like internet platform. Why does an internet platform need my phone number? However, seeing how the entire site just got hacked and leaked, you might want to be more safe than, sorry. Just delete Twitch, Villager says. I mean, that is an option. However, Twitch cannot be deleted anymore because basically what they just did, they created, like, a bunch of backups everywhere. So, if you're not aware of the news just yet, and you're here on Twitch and you don't know what is happening, like, oh boy, do I have something for you. But basically, 2 days ago, or I think yesterday? No, yesterday. Actually, 24 hours ago. I don't know if exactly 24 hours ago, but yesterday, someone released Twitch onto the internet. And when I say released Twitch, I'm talking about a 120-something gigabyte file containing the entire source code of Twitch, the Twitch mobile apps, some stuff that Twitch has been working on, and all the data of creators and people with accounts on this just pretty much everywhere. This release, most notably for like a lot of people, like the exact earnings that a lot of people have made, people have been going crazy about, like the amount of money that streamers are making, and I do kind of want to talk about that real briefly. But there's also a lot more interesting stuff where only like little pieces are flowing to the servers, because basically this entire like hack just it consists of like all sorts of folders full of like code and basically code where like, you know, things are being built up the way that the thing is run, and in the code there are all sorts of like notations and comments and links to like that like locations where otherwise Twitch stuff used to be. And yeah, basically there is a lot to unearth. There's so much files, there is so much in this entire package that it will take some time for people to go through it. But if there is a folder that says Twitch earnings, then oh boy, will people jump on that and immediately figure out who is who. So yeah, guys, you must donate the money to Michel so he could start his own streaming platform. Well, I already have my own streaming platform because basically I got Twitch's source code. So basically I can say, Mitch, that's going to be my platform. It's going to be Twitch, but then it's going to be me. Actually, I don't have Twitch's source code. I don't have Twitch's entire source code. Don't worry about that. But I could have, just like you could have your own Twitch. You could call your Twitch Finch, which is going to be Twitch, but then Villager's Twitch. Maybe Finch 2. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, like basically Twitch is out. It's open source now, not entirely, but yeah, it's been a bitch. You could call it bitch. My new platform, bitch.tv. Holy shit, does that even exist? Actually, I don't want to look that up. I do not want to look up bitch.tv here on stream. I think that domain must be taken, and that domain must be taken by somebody which is probably not very family friendly. I mean, not that this channel is very family friendly, but it probably isn't like stream friendly. You'll look it up. Well, brave boy, man, brave boy. Let me know what it turns out, and let me know if your computer doesn't just get completely infected by a whole bunch of like viruses or shit. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Anyway, so yeah, today I want to talk a little bit about the Twitch leaks. Talk about like some of the things that have come forward, some of the things that people are talking about. And also just in general do like a little bit of a just chatting around that, because I think it's something which is pretty interesting, and it's something which has gotten a lot of people like busy, and also a lot of people like focused on Twitch. So one of the first things which I do think is important is just talking about the safety element. I think there's a couple of things which are of note here. The fact that basically Twitch, like, a couple of things were released. First of all, we know that the earnings are out for like most creators. Like pretty much every single creator is out there that has received money from Twitch is on there. Oh shit, but bitch.com is a thing. But bitch.tv is not a thing? Hold on. Bitch.tv is not a thing. Right, well then I guess you go. Bitch.com is, but make bitch.tv. And then your bitch.tv link is, I wonder how well that would go. I wonder how well that would go. But anyway, let's talk about a little bit of like the security elements. So basically what released was the entire Twitch source code, which kind of like includes the way that the platform is built up. As far as I understand, this is pretty much every single element of, like, the way that they set up their behind-the-scenes servers, the way that they set up, like, the application that you look this through, whether you're watching it through your phone or whether you watch it through your web browser, the way that the chat works, the way that, like, every little thing behind here works, is pretty much out there right now, exactly how it works. And I think that that is, like, first of all, like, that is a big blow to Twitch, because pretty much everything that they do is out there. It really makes me wonder, because apparently this is, like, I've heard that this is super recent from, like last Monday, which is pretty much just 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago. Fed Decor, how's it going, man? How are you doing? So, like, this stuff is super recent, so that means that, like, this must have come from someone who has had access to like, all these, to all these files. And then the question is, like, how does one get access to pretty much all of Twitch? I don't think it's going to be like a Death Star that has like a little hole that brings you right to the core where you can have like access to everything. I think it's probably going to be more like either someone that already had access to there, or someone that already had access to there that lets someone else in, or maybe a hacker attack. But I don't know. But like at least if it is someone from the inside, then that is rather problematic, because that is kind of bad for Twitch. If they're having such internal conflicts that they're actually willing to throw out user data, especially user data like income earnings and passwords maybe and more, that is really bad. That is not the way you want a company to be run, and nor do you want a company to be run like that, where you trust your own personal information to. And secondly, like let's say that it was someone from the inside that gave access to someone from the outside. It's kind of the same situation, but it could also just be like a fault, because sometimes like what happens is a very good way of like getting into like a system is basically just like dropping a USB stick in like the parking lot of the company, and just someone comes around, picks it up, puts it in their computer, because fuck it, you know, free USB stick, and then you just put a virus on there that they don't even notice, and you just like send it through to like the entire system, and bada bing bada boom, you're in. So that might also be the case. It might have been like a voluntary, very like mean-spirited thing where like, oh, I'm gonna let you in so you can go and run wild and leak this thing. Or it could have been something where like, you know, it accidentally happened, which, you know, doesn't really make it right, but at least it's better than like someone having an internal like thing against Twitch. But if it's an attack from the outside, then holy shit, man. Twitch is in a bad spot, basically. So do you know Perseus from Greek mythology? In Estonian, Pers means ass. So every single time I see the name Perseus, I chuckle. I do know about it. I do know about it. Like we had a bit of Greek in high school, which is kind of fun. But yeah, so basically the fact that this has gotten out is already a bit of a concern, because basically right now, like, there is a way in which like someone has gotten like that access like very recently of Twitch and has released it. And the fact that they released it so soon, I think that means something. Because basically like what I've learned from like some like I actually followed like a course in university that kind of went about like how to like secret practices sort of thing, like how you go about information intelligence and sort of and like what are kind of common practices. And the thing with information intelligence, like if you have acquired a certain amount of information, or if you have like a channel of information which you're not supposed to have, like you're not gonna instantly like give away that you have the information. So likewise, a lot of times like there will be like intelligence channels that like countries will have. Especially if they're at war with each other, they will have intelligence all over the place, and they will know about certain attacks or certain things that are going to be happening against their country. But sometimes they'll just let it through. They'll just let it happen, because if the only way that they would figure out that, you know, this attack was going to happen here, if the only way was because they were listening in, then the enemy knows that they're listening in, and then you can't prevent something bigger. And it's the same thing. Like if you have been able to get into the Twitch like main system, I can very well imagine that you might want to like acquire all these files and then wait for a while and then release it, so that like there is like a longer time window in which more and more people have had access to this thing, so that you can release it at a certain point in time and there can be fewer suspects. But this thing means that like basically within 2 or 3 days this person released it, which means that in some sense either they were super confident about that they would not be found out, or they were super confident they could get back in, or it was just like a very easy way to get in. I don't know, but it's very interesting that happened. I've seen rumored that I've seen people like make memes about like this person has been arrested or something. I don't know. I have no idea about that. I have information on the NATO attack plans against Russia, and I'm being hunted by the Russian government. Just kidding. Yeah, but like that's just something which I find very interesting. The fact that it's so recent and they uploaded it. But yeah, anyway, so that's just kind of like the security side on Twitch's end. What I think is more pressing on like the general end is that, first of all, what we find is like change your password, change your stream key if you stream on this platform, because it is something which undoubtedly I've heard rumors that there are encrypted password files, which is good. It's not just plain text. It's not like a text file where like everyone's password is in. However, if there is encrypted files on computers, which are literally the encrypted files of the passwords, like you could run a decryptor on there. It could that could take ages, or it could be done very quickly. I would not take my chances. Change your password, and if you've used the password on Twitch that you've also used somewhere else, change the password somewhere else as well to something something different, just to be safe. Another thing is like stream keys. Twitch is like force everyone to change the stream keys, which is pretty damn good. Because I don't know. I think it's fine that they do it because you don't want to have people like randomly streaming towards like other channels. The thing that worries me more though is that basically with Twitch's source code out is people can figure out how this platform works, and that's not going to be fast, because basically like this is a really big like file that's out there, and everything is encoded, and like everything is like in different folders. Like you need to know your way around how something like this works in order to figure out what it all means. However, if you know your way around and you have bad intentions, basically you now know how the thing works. If you've ever seen like the lockpicking lawyer, go check him out on YouTube. The lockpicking lawyer can like literally just like open pretty much any lock. Like you'll have those, like fingerprint locks, like these electronic door locks, where like if you walk up to a door, like you can like press your fingerprint over there, and like the door will open. Or you'll have like you can type in a code, the door will open, or like there's like a tag, the door will open. And the thing is, like, he can open that thing, he can bypass that thing in a second. And you're like, how does he do that? Like, does he know the code? Does he know, like, can he fake a fingerprint? Like, can he like fake the RFID tag? Because like the thing is, like, you're looking at that, it's like there's no keyhole in which like you can fuck around with. Like, how do you do this? And the thing is, he knows that there's on the side, like, this electronic lock unlocks the door. Like, this thing does the verification and the unlocking in the console itself, and the way it unlocks it is via like a magnetic like switch. So if I hold a magnet to it, it will just open it. So like he knows where to put a magnet, boom, the door is open. And that's kind of pretty much like if you want to like make malicious bots, if you want to do like malicious attacks against this platform, you now can figure out exactly how this platform works. You can now figure out exactly what is going on. They've also like released lists of Twitch hackers. So basically like Twitch would have like Twitch staff that would be like I think like the idea was that they would be trying to hack Twitch, or that they would pose as Twitch hackers or thing. Like, in a sense, like these people were not supposed to be known to be working for Twitch. They're out now. So yeah, like there is a lot of things that are in there. Again, like I can't confirm everything because I mean like I haven't looked for the files. But like there is more and more that's coming through. I'm also hearing about like there's rumors about like no ban lists that people are there's like lists where it's like, okay, so if there's any problem with like this streamer, never ban them, bring it to me, sort of thing, which is very interesting, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, so like pretty much like the entire like infrastructure is open so that right now people can figure out like where are the weak points and where can we attack. And with like the things that have recently been going on with Twitch, where people have been like, oh my god, there's hate raids and shit, and like, oh my god, there's like bots that are spamming shit and such. Twitch can do whatever it can, but it's going to be created by humans. And the thing that defenses made by humans will always be able to, you'll always be able to break through that. However, one of the strongest defenses of human defense is that you don't know how it works. If you know how it works, it's very easy to get through. And now, like, they can figure out how that works. So that is something where, like, I think you can also be sure, watch out right now, because Twitch might be a little bit unstable with the way that you know, it's going to be working. Like people right now know how it works, so can figure out more and more how it works. Speaking of fingerprint scanners, there were some fingerprint scanner gun safeties, and the public thought it was a good idea until people started showing how easy it was to bypass it with an ordinary magnet. Great idea. Not sure if it could work with semis though. Yeah. Lockpicking Lawyer also does those videos where he like gets by those so easily. It's insane. Like, locks are in no way secure. Just watch the Lockpicking Lawyer and your entire mindset about locks is just completely changed. It's insane. Like, within like seconds he opens any lock, which is just crazy. But that just goes to show, like, if you understand how the defense works, you can bypass it very easily. And that's what we find here right now. So those are just general Twitch securities basically, which are like kind of Twitch security questions which come up. Then what we have is, of course, we have earnings, which people very much care about. I think it's kind of like not good that you that now like pretty much the entire public knows every single Twitch streamer's earnings. That's not very good. I don't think so. But what I think is more important is like, are there files that are storing the information? So basically, if you want to get money from Twitch, you gotta like submit your real name, you gotta submit your address, you gotta submit your bank account, like all your like official information. If that is stored in any of the files that have been accessed, and I would really wonder like if they wouldn't be in there, sort of thing. Like how could Twitch like not secure its like source code, but does secure like these personal things, but then not secure like the earnings? I think that there's a very real chance that whoever has had access to the source code and whoever has had access to like this entire like, you know, earnings and shit, they probably also had access to the personal information. It might just be in there. So that is something which is worrisome, especially if like when it comes to like streamers and doxing, but also just in general. I don't think it's a very good idea. That's out. I think that's kind of worrisome. And like, yeah, so like basically we have the fact that there's internally something wrong with Twitch that this data got out. The second thing, that Twitch now pretty much like has their asshole just like gaping open for anyone just to like ram into it. And thirdly, that you kind of have that yeah, like right now there's a lot of personal information that's probably going to be leaking out. So yeah. I've always been of the mindset that if someone really wants to break in enough, they will. Lockpicking Lawyer has only cemented that. A fellow Lockpicking Lawyer watcher. Dude, Lockpicking Lawyer is fantastic. But like the thing is like pretty much anyone can get in with like enough conviction. Like if you want to get in, like you can smash the window of a car, you can smash the window of like a house. But the thing with locks is that a lot of time like smashing the window of a house is like something you'll hear, hopefully. Smashing the window of a car is something you'll hear and see, hopefully. But if you can just like within a few seconds like click 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 and get into it, like that is pretty crazy. And it's also like kind of funny to see the way he does it so fast. So yeah. In general, like those are kind of the security concerns. I'm personally not too concerned. I'll get into that later for myself, because like I do tend to keep like pretty good security practice even when it comes to like stuff like this. But I do think that it is quite worrisome. Like this thing, if you are using Twitch, even if you're not a Twitch streamer, it might very well still be that like if you're using passwords on multiple sites, if there's any bits of like personal information around, it might be in there. At the same time, you are lucky though that like there is so much, like what are the chances that they'll get to you? Who knows? What if they hack your Nokia and make it a bomb? I mean, dude, if they like explode anything inside the Nokia, like it's not even gonna like get out because it's strong enough. So like I'm not worried at all. What, I missed to talk about the leaks? No, you didn't. We just got started. I just went over Arteria. I just went over just the general things about security. The bowls are leaking piss. What the heck, villager? Where did this come from? The thing which I just talked about was just in general the stuff about what is it? About the security. The fact that someone has been able to get into Twitch. Like, what has happened there? Like, the fact that Twitch security and, like, its internal practices, there was some flaw that someone got into here. That's pretty big. The fact that it's also so quickly released shows that there was a certain level of confidence or recklessness. Like, it could also just be that this person is completely reckless and just, like, goes and throws it out there without any regard for, like, what's going to happen to their future self. But the fact that this came from Monday, 3 days ago, basically, and someone just, like, posted it, like, within, like, 1 or 2 days that they got it, that does mean that either they got very easy access to it, or so that they're like, well, it could have been anyone that's gotten access to this, because like basically like the faster you upload it, the shorter amount of a time window there is between like you stealing it and like uploading it, so like the less people are able to, you know, could have been the culprit basically. So yeah, bruh, I was robbed by Apex. I was playing duos at 5 kills 900 damage and I had a red shield. Last 4 squads I had no bats, so I got deleted. Holy shit, man. Oh, dude. Bats are always like, bats are never there when you really need them. And then yeah, then like the next game, like you start off and you know, you just like lose them. But yeah, so that's just kind of something where I'm worried about. Like the fact that Twitch kind of like, that this happened and this happened so fast means that there's something wrong in Twitch. And whether it's like someone that's internally bad at Twitch, whether it's someone internally from Twitch that gave access to someone on the outside, or whether it's a hacker from the outside that so easily got in, they could immediately release it. Whatever the situation is, it's kind of bad for Twitch security in general. However, Twitch security now has got like, you know Goatsy, like how big Goatsy has his asshole open? That is pretty much the way that Twitch is right now, because that's what we were talking about with the Lockpicking Lawyers. Basically, right now what we have is we have the situation where the entire source code of Twitch is out there. So anyone that wants to do anything malicious to Twitch, as long as they understand what the source code means and what's in all these files, they just know how Twitch is built up right now. And that's not something you can very quickly change. That's not something you can very quickly adjust, because that is just like the platform since Justin TV. That is pretty big. So there could be more and more attacks or more like things that, of like malicious actors coming in the coming few weeks, months, where basically they're figuring out like, how does this platform work, how are the defenses of this platform work, and how can we make something that bypasses that. That's something that worries me. The second, on a more personal level, what worries me is that password information is out, or like encrypted password files have been found, or like there are rumors about that. It's not been confirmed, but most likely it is out there, because like to me it seems very, very unlikely that Twitch would have like a server security or like a file security that would put like the entire source code and the earnings of everyone on Twitch in like one level, and then a level of security above that would be passwords and like personal information of like bank account, full names, all that sort of stuff. I cannot believe that that would be on two separate, like that is so much more important, right? I think that all of them are like pretty much of equal importance. So the fact that like also Twitch earnings, like I would assume that earnings are kind of like integrated with like your personal details. The fact that like that stuff is out makes it very likely for me to believe that either like the personal information is going to be out at some point, or it's already out, people haven't found it yet, or it might like the person that got their hands on it still has access to it. So yeah, just watch out with that. Like how Goatsy, like, how Goatsy's your first way of describing it? Not only hacked everything related, let's see, did Twitch get hacked? Absolutely. They absolutely got butt-fucked, dude. They're exposed. It's insane. So yeah, not only hacked everything related to Twitch was leaked, that flew by everyone. So basically, they released the source code of Twitch. So basically, someone just like got into like the files of Twitch, and basically they released everything. So that is code on how Twitch is built from Justin TV onwards. That is code about how their apps are built from like basically, you know, the basis onwards. That's the code on like how the chat functions. That's the code on how the bots functions. There's like earnings or earning reports from 2019 to right now, this very Monday, of Twitch streams. Every single Twitch streamer out there that's ever earned money on this platform, you can find them in that list and how much they earned every single month, exactly to like the dollar and the cents. You can find how there's also like lists about like how like who are on a no ban list, or like there's so much behind that. It's insane. I've looked for some of the code and it was interesting. Yeah, so yeah, like there is a lot out there. Pretty much everything Twitch, like a whole bunch of shit is out there. It's not gonna be like files of videos or streams or chat logs. That's not out there. Just the infrastructure of how Twitch works and just important information is out there. So it's a really big thing. And yeah, so Twitch got hacked. Email, by the way, change your password if you haven't done so already. If you feel like turning on two-factor authentication, I would recommend that, because it's very likely that people have access to that right now. Also, if you use the password here on Twitch that you use somewhere else, please change it. It's never wise to use passwords on like different sites, but I know we've all done it, because like you have so many sites, you have so many passwords that you need. So like how fucking hard is it to like remember a password for every single fucking website? So like you'll use one and across like many. Watch out though. By the way, Arteria, please throw them in the Discord, because unfortunately I have disabled links like for years already, because I just want to like keep people safe and don't want to like have spam bots like throwing random links. Unfortunately, like that also means like this. Or you can DM them to Rahab, because Rahab is a mod and he can post them for you. So that's also a way that you can do it. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. Yeah, I know, like it's annoying. I personally find it annoying too, because like I know that you just like want to post these articles, which is fantastic. I really love if you guys like listen to me. You're like, hey, what's going on? Also check it out, because I cannot get all the stories right. I'm not a news source. I'm not someone that like reads for everything, fact checks everything. So always make sure you do your research. Check out the articles as well. But yeah. Hey, Twitch hacker, mind giving me 1K followers? What are your thoughts on password managers, and is there one you'd recommend over others? So, my thoughts on password managers is that they're probably going to be pretty damn good. I do not have experience with them myself. So, like, I cannot give you my experience on, like, what I think is the best. I cannot even give you my thoughts on, like, what would be a good one, what would be a bad one, what would be drawbacks. The things which I personally thought might be drawbacks of, like, password managers is especially those that are, like, cloud-based, where it's, like, you can, like, put your things in a password manager, and you can use it on your phone, you can use it on your laptop, you can use it on your computer. It's like, if that's cloud-based, that means that it's that's stored somewhere in a server. That is not your computer. And I personally don't like storing things on someone else's computer because I don't know whose computer that is. And even if they say we're super secure, you never know like how secure they are. And basically, you're just pretty much just giving all your keys to someone that you don't know. So I would always go with like a local based password manager. So something where like you have a program which is locally based on your computer and you gotta copy it over to like every single machine that you use. However, at that point in time, I do think that it's worthwhile, because what you can do then, like what I would really recommend, it's why I write it down on paper. Yeah, what I would also really recommend is go and like create a password generator, like find a password generator, like maybe like, I wouldn't say online, but you can very easily create one with code. Basically just get all the just get all the possible like things that you can put into. So all the numbers, all the letters, all the lowercase letters, all the capital letters, all the symbols you have on your keyboard, like everything. And then just make a string, a randomly generated string from like 50 to 100 characters. Maybe 200 characters, 300 characters, 400 characters. Make it very fucking long. Okay, because those things are not something that people can guess because you've randomly generated them, and it's also something which cannot be cracked, because like basically like you could brute force something, you could brute force like a password, which is going to be quite hard on most modern day platforms because you can only have so many tries. However, you could kind of like brute force a password. However, like it becomes harder, significantly harder, the more like different sort of characters there are in there, and the less like logic there is behind there. So most password like crackers will look for like words. They'll look for things that have cohesion, because there are so many like possible combinations that you could do, especially like the longer you get it. 400 like a 400 character password made out of like every single possible character that you could put from your keyboard in, it's pretty much impossible to like get that exact combination, but just like guessing like every single thing. However, if it's like 5 or 10 characters and it's like the name of a pet and then some numbers, like that is super easy. Or like not super easy, but you can get there. So yeah, that is something which I would recommend. I can't tell you anything about password managers, but I would definitely say go and like look into them. If there's something you trust, give it a shot, because seriously, it is so much better to like have different passwords for every single site. It's so much better to have like passwords that you might not even remember for every single site, like rather than that you have something where like, hey, if Twitch gets hacked, everything is screwed. So that's something that I would put forth. Rahab posting the links, thank you. Just get a good memory. Just be Fee from Cyberpunk and just hack your PC to call because you've forgotten your password. People would need really specific knowledge of a very obscure subject to even know how to read my password. Well, that's the thing. It's like a lot of times it's just computers, and computers don't need to have knowledge. They just like look for patterns. But yeah. Anyway. So, what was I on about? Let's see. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. We were talking about password managers. Oh yeah, we were talking about, I was talking about, so like your personal info is out there, most likely out there. So like watch out for that. That's something which I do worry about, as well. Yeah, the computers won't be able to get them either. Well then, that's good. Oh man, oh man, oh man. But I was talking about passwords. Reminds me of those things on Facebook where it was like, type your password in the comments and like magically see it like translate to like *******, and then people would just type their passwords in the comments and like, oh my god, why doesn't it do that? How do I delete a comment on Facebook? It's like, yeah, you could get people with that. But yeah, anyway. So I think that like security in general is something which is a little bit of a concern, but we're going to see that moving forward. Especially, I think that there's going to be some more attacks on Twitch. You might see an increase in like spammer bots. You might see an increase in like these hate rates or something. I don't know much about those, but I know that like to some people it's been an incredibly significant problem on the platform. And most likely, like if there are malicious people that want to like do that, they'll have more tools for that right now. So regardless, the thing that I also kind of want to touch upon is things outside of security, which I think are kind of interesting. So one of the things which fascinates me is that a lot of interest is placed on the earnings of streamers. And I kind of want to get into that in a little bit, because I do want to give some comments on that and also like go over some of my thoughts of that. But before that, I kind of want to say, I don't think that's the most interesting thing at all. The most interesting, like one of the most interesting things which I have heard so far, and this is just a rumor, but like I feel more of this is going to be coming out soon, is that there is a no ban list. So basically, like their internal notes have been found where basically there are names of streamers where notes are being said like this, like do not ban this person, reference this to me, references to like a person on Twitch staff sort of thing. So basically, like, there are people who on this platform who just straight up get banned, and there are people on the platform who, if they do something which would be a bannable offense, would be sent. Like, that case would then be sent to someone within Twitch that can then they decide then. And honestly, that's kind of concerning in a sense. Like, it is something which a lot of people have speculated about, that there is preferential treatment on Twitch, that there is preferential treatment of, like, certain types of streamers. And that is something which I never really wanted to believe, because personally I feel that if I were to run a platform, I would not really give a big shit about, like, who does what, right? It's kind of like whoever like turns out to be the best of this platform is the best of the platform, and we will facilitate the people that, you know, like do well. So like, you know, we'll promote them, or, you know, if we're gonna do a conference, we'll, you know, promote them a little bit, maybe fly them in because that feels good or something, like do a rewind or whatever. However, I would never go and cross my own rules on my own platform for people on my platform, because at the end of the day, I'm the platform. And just look at Ninja going to Mixer. Look at, like, other alternative platforms to Twitch. It's like, you gotta be sure of your position. And these are people that grew up for your platform. If they do something that's absolutely deemed bannable, you can't just, like, go and say, fuck it, you know? Because then what the fuck are your rules? So that is something which I think is kind of worrisome. The payouts are mainly interesting with certain streamers that downplay how much they've earned. Do we really need the code to know alinity? Well, the thing which I think is really important here is that it is actually, like, the rumors are, because I have not seen it myself, but the rumors are that this stuff has actually been found. And that's something which I think is important, is that, like, when people, like, rumor about it, when people think about it, right? When people say, like, yeah, there's preferential treatment, like, I have seen, like, in Warframe, for instance, with, like, the Warframe partner program, there was rumored preferential treatment, where people are like, well, this person, this streamer always says something, and then they put it into the game. And I have seen that many, many times, where I would, for instance, with, like, Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, what was often, like, said, like, oh, he has close ties to the E, and then whenever he says something, they put it into the game, and then he complains about, and then he goes, like, talk shit to everyone that disagrees with him, because he knows he got the devs in his pocket. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. That was never the case, because, like, he did not have that influence at all. No partner had that influence on DE. And I know because I've been very fucking close to that. I've been very much, like, in that scene. I've been very much, like, behind the scenes right there. So I know that that wasn't going on. A lot of times what just happened was that Rob really liked to run his mouth to people that he did not agree with, because that was kind of his shtick. And the thing is that, like, a lot of times, like, he would just say a whole bunch of things, and then a couple of things that he would say just happened to come true. Just like, if you say, like, if I say 1,000 things, a couple of things might turn true, and then those are things where, like, retroactively you say, like, oh shit, he said that and that happened, and then he talked shit about me, like, oh my god, this guy's in line with it. Like, that's not the case. However, like, with this, like, actually being noted down, with, like, actually, like, being proof there, like, there is no denying about it. So yeah. Aquatic Koi, what's up, dude? How's it going? So yeah, worth bearing in mind is that the source of this information is dubious at best, so it'd be worth taking anything they say with caution. Rumored, most likely almost confirmed with how certain persons could get away with a lot more shit than others. Well, I will say rumored until, like, I see the actual file that says these notes. Like, I think that, like, the streamer earnings are pretty much confirmed that they're out there, because there are sites dedicated to, like, showing the exact numbers. The numbers are also being confirmed by the streamers themselves. On, like, there's been a bunch of streamers that have said already on Twitter, like, these numbers are exactly the way they are. So I know that they're like confirmed. I'm not gonna say that this shit is, like, confirmed when I've not seen the notes. Like, the only thing that I've seen is basically that, like, the only thing I've seen is, like, on forums and on, like, Reddits, where people have been talking about this, that they've seen it, but I've not seen the actual screenshots. The conversation is about the Twitch leaks that just happened, and basically, like, the fact that, or, like, the rumors, most likely true, that evidence has been found of no ban lists. That basically there's, like, no notes where, like, if there's something wrong with this streamer, like a ban may be in place or something happens with this person, then like, reference that through to this person, don't ban them. So yeah. Wasn't there a girl who literally bent over and spread her pussy in front of the camera and only got, like, a 2-day ban or something? Might have been the case. I do not recall that very well, but, like, I do know that, like, bans have always been rather subjective, and I'd always like to I personally like to presume the best in people. I always like to assume that, like, it's the best possible scenario. I want to give, like, Twitch the benefit of the doubt, because a lot of times when people get angry and people rally about it, it's like, oh, she only got a 2-day ban. It's like, it's a lot of times, like, fueled by a certain strong type of emotion that wants people to, like, see some things in a certain type of way, and then anything that they'll just get, like, goes towards, like, one way. Meanwhile, Just the Minx got a week-long ban for saying something much less inflammatory, and that streamer was unbanned thanks to a lot of raging towards Twitch. So, like, that's something which I find weird, too. It's like, this entire, like, rage thing, like, I would say you would need to have rules which are just set in stone. It's like, if you show this on stream, you're banned. There's no question about it. That's just what it is. There's no, like, ifs or buts about it. It's just, like, it's just the way it is. But the fact that, like, if people get mad about it, then, well, I'm banned. It's like, fuck that, dude. That's kind of weird. But, yeah. Yeah, people were seeing something in a certain way, alright. And she literally did that. Saw a clip of it, yeah. So, to me, like, those are things which I think are a lot more interesting. And the thing which I find is going to be coming up. Misha, if you can get away with rage baiting, insulting, and the other offense stuff while Rahab gets in trouble for even insinuating it, then I'm calling preferential treatment. Same with certain people in the Warframe content creator group, and you know it. So, what I found with Warframe, as far as I recollected, right, is that basically, like, I do not recall anyone getting, like, banned from Warframe except for one person at the very end of the days. Like, I only recall, like, one person getting banned from, like, the Warframe partner program for something they said. And honestly, I found that, like, to be rather interesting, the fact that Warframe was willing to die on the hill of, like, let us ban this person for their tweets a week before we close the program. That was kind of weird. That was kind of interesting in the sense, like, Warframe was doing something weird. You mean the Refix Dev stuff? No. Refix Dev, as far as I remember, was never a partner. So he was not banned. It was just, like, there was something going on there, and they were kind of, like, weird about that. I don't know exactly. Like, that situation was, like, a little bit before I joined. It was kind of when I joined that program that was currently going on. So I don't know the ins and outs of it. But I do know, for instance, like, there was no one, like, kicked out of the Warframe partner program, except for one person at the very end that I remember. The rest was never called out, was never kicked out for, like, anything they did. So when you're talking about, like, preferential treatment, I've been very close to Rob for, like, 2 years. I cannot recall whenever he got preferential treatment. You could say that, like, the only preferential treatment that he might have gotten was that he was flown to TennoCon, like, 2 or 3 times. But at the time, I think that his channel was, like, one of the biggest, and Warframe was, like, super weird with the way that they invited people. Didn't the Warframe partner program have an opposite program where some people who had been doing Warframe content forever couldn't get partnered for no reason? They did have some weird they did have some weird, like, requirements, the way that they would accept people. That was kind of weird. But I do not believe that there was, like, an opposite program. But it was, like, pretty much, like, you know, Ashishoki Tenno would, like, apply, and they would just, like, turn him down, and they would not give a reason for why. And then when he would, like, shout out about it, then they would accept him. That was kind of weird. I don't know what happened there. But I do know, for instance, because, like, I've been, like, I was very close to Rob for 2 years. And in that time, a lot of people said that this guy's giving preferential treatment. And meanwhile, I know, like, pretty much, like, what kind of conversations he's having with DE. And I know that these conversations are pretty much him just, like, trying to save things and it just being ignored. Because they don't care. Like, they don't give a shit. And that was the same thing with, like, pretty much every other creator. Like, even the biggest creators out there within that, like, within that game, they would just go out and, like, say, like, this should be changed, and, like, they would just not listen. The entire, like, partner Discord would just be a giant cesspit of people, like, fighting in on each other, because, like, it was pretty much just, like, Warframe forums or Twitter, but then, like, behind closed doors. So, yeah. Let's see. He was banned for, exploiting discount codes and other exploits so that you could get more platinum for your buck. Oh, yeah, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, the Refix Dev thing. But, yeah... He was not banned for his conduct at TennoCon, but yeah, there was something with other exploits, but yeah, it was like, it was a bit weird, that situation. Like, I feel like he was just banned because, like, he was exploiting the game, but yeah. Refixf personally called me an idiot after I pointed out he was still making videos after saying he was gonna stop. Yeah, I mean, some people really like to go there. But some people really like to, like, keep on going for, like, I'm quitting, I'm ending, and then, like, just writing off those views. But, hey, you know, good thing that he personally calls you out. Would he still remember? Would he still remember that comment that he made? But yeah, so, like, the thing is, like, a lot of times, like, again, like, seeing that these lists are there with Twitch, it might very well have been that it was also there with Warframe, but just as far as I personally know, I have not seen it. So, like, my doubt will always fall on, like, what would be more reasonable? Would it be reasonable to assume that a company would give a very controversial person the complete, like, right away and be like, okay, well, whatever you say we're gonna do, even though you have no experience in this, and you don't know anything about this, it's not your platform, you don't know what the fuck we're doing, you're not an expert in this, you're just one of the persons using us, so, I mean, like, why would we listen to you? It's like, that is something which, like, I doubt more than that it's just, like, yeah, hey, you know, it just happened to align this way, or you're seeing certain things because you have, like, you want to see certain things. I thought people being upset at Rob wasn't for getting preferential treatment compared to other creators, but remaining a creator after saying stuff that would get normal players banned. But I don't remember what any drama was about. Well, to be honest, like, the thing which I always found was very weird is that partnership is not something that really is a title, in a sense. Like, a partnership is basically just... Like, this was something which, like, Warframe kind of went about wrong, and creators also went about wrong, because what you found was that people would go out and say, like, I'm a Warframe partner. It's like, I'm partner of a club, and you should watch me, sort of thing. Like, they berated that around as, like, a title, that you should be proud to be part of, sort of thing. Well, basically, it's just like, hey, you know, I am in a relationship with this company, and it gives me things, and I'm, in return, gonna get things, like, gonna, like, make videos or something. And basically, like, it's just, like, a partnership between two entities. Like, it doesn't really matter to anyone, like, what's going on there. Like, if Warframe wants to partner with, like, someone that doesn't even have a YouTube channel, it's up to them. It's their choice. It's like, they can choose whoever they want to partner with. So, it's not really, like, a thing where it's like, oh, but this person is mean on Twitter, so they should be banned from the Warframe. But it's like, why does anyone care? It's like, no, like, as far as I recall, like, I don't think anyone has ever cared about, like, Linus Tech Tips and his partnership with Intel and AMD and NVIDIA and AMD and, like, all EVGA and, Gigabyte, where, like, they also have partnerships in which they get, like, items. But that doesn't really happen because it's not important. So if D wants to partner with someone, like, I've never seen why it was someone else's business to, like, judge over the partners. I don't really see why it was ever, like, a point for debate. The thing, though, that I found when I found when it came to Rob was, but yeah, I do remember that his homophobia also a factor in his bans and such. While it's true that Rob got away with a lot of stuff that normal players get banned, to be fair to him, a lot of people were only bothering to bring out his personal dislike of them. Well, the thing which I found is that, like, if you do it in the game, okay, so, like, if you are in-game, and in-game you're being rude or offensive or whatever, saying whatever he's saying, you are in the game, and that makes a difference because that is their game, and they have control over what is being said in the game. The moment that they're going to ban people based on what people do on another platform, that's an entirely different thing. And I do think that they're, like, as long as someone is not saying that inside the game itself, but actually doing it on Twitch, that's a different platform. So that's not really Warframe jurisdiction. They can't really say anything about that. But yeah, they could still decide to go anywhere. Be like, oh yeah, we didn't like that. It's up to them if they want to do it. But yeah, I mean, anyway, Espino, show me, hope all is well, my friend. I'm doing quite alright, man. How are you? How are you? Today I kind of wanted to talk about, like, the Twitch leaks, the entire Twitch, like, happening that's been going on. Especially because people seem to be so caught up about, like, the earnings of Twitch. So yeah, banning people for things they do on other platforms, Patreon does it. Yeah, I don't like that. I really don't like that. But yeah, I mean, Patreon COS's file, I mean, like, the fact that, like, we've seen it a couple of times with platforms that will just straight out ban, like, users all, like, at the same time on all platforms. It's like, that's coordinated. That shit is coordinated. So, like, that's fucking weird. But anyway, regardless of that, let's not go down that road. Let's actually kind of stick to Twitch, because I do kind of want to go into, like, Twitch's, like, earnings and, like, the fact that people are so, like, concerned about it. Spinner says, I've been at a sales conference all week and I'm exhausted. Oh hell yeah, dude. I mean, like, not oh hell yeah, exhausted, but, like, at a conference, dude. That sounds like fun. At the airport, waiting for my delayed flight, so I'm fine but beat. Oh man, delayed flights. It's like, even when air traffic is all the way down, when no one is flying, or like barely people are flying compared to normal, they still have delayed flights. Holy shit. And there seems to be less of a raw plot problem and more of a DE being really inconsistent with enforcing bans/rules, like Sabuchi being punished for lewd soul names, while they show Crumb Gustler on stream. Yeah, like, that entire shit is just, like, Warframe being really weird. It's like, to me, it's been like, if they ever go out and, like, ban and, like, tell me to change the name for Barrow's Buttplug, I'm deleting my account. Fuck that. So yeah, the airport is packed and every flight is full. Holy shit, that air travel has, like, really packed up. If you, like, we still don't have it at, like, the full speed that it used to be before. Holy shit. Which is ridiculous because it's an R-rated game. Yeah, but, like, I mean, they're owned by Tencent now, so, like, what do you expect? What the fuck do you expect? So yeah. One thing which I do think is interesting though, let's see. Do I want to like bring it up, or do we first want to like finish up the fucking R-rated Warframe shit? Yeah, murder, torture, genocide, completely fine. Yeah, saying like calling something a butt plug is weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's super fucking, but a dirty word. I know, right? It's fucking ridiculous. So that to me also just like kind of like killed the game for me. But let's move on from Warframe, because like I don't really want to talk that much about Warframe today, because like it's more about Twitch. Because, like, one thing which I found very interesting is, like, how people were so focused, hyper-focused on, like, people's earnings. Streamer earnings as well. So, a lot of comments which I see is, first of all, that people are insanely interested in, like, how much money do these people make? Now, I've never really had that interest in, like, what the hell does anyone else make? I never really asked people, like, yo, what do you make? And it's something where I also think it's kind of distasteful if you go on like Social Blade or something, and you go and look at like YouTube channels, like they make anywhere between $33 and $5,000 a month, and you just gotta decide. It's like, dude, that doesn't tell me anything. Why do you even like put this out there? Because it's just for people to like kind of like either like dream about, oh my god, I could be like PewDiePie and earn $1 million a month. Oh, that would be beautiful. Or be like, oh my god, I got a PewDiePie earning $1 billion a month. It's like, yeah, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, it's always about like people like trying to like use that number for themselves or things. Like, dude, what does it care? Like, no one, like why do you care so much? Are those earnings leaked for the past years or total? It's from 2019 to 2021. So the last 3 years. So to me, like, that is something where, like, I don't feel like it's anyone's business, and I think it's kind of, like, weird that people focus on that so much, especially because things are, like, ranging so wildly. I noticed that some people are like, well, this is ridiculous, like, why are these people being paid so much when all they do is play video games? And I do think that there is definitely something to be said. Like, I find it kind of weird when people compare, like, something needs to be higher by saying that someone else is earning too much. Where it's like, when they're saying, like, oh yeah, you have, like, hospital workers, so you have, like, people that work physical jobs that, like, get paid far less than people just sit in a room and play games all day. It's like, I mean, like, yeah, I agree. I wish these people would earn more money too, but I don't think that you necessarily need to, like, take someone down. It's always, like, kind of like a bad faith argument where people are, like, kind of, like, hostile and, like, kind of already have, like, a negative opinion on, like, oh, man, these people playing games. It's like, if Twitch was so easy, then, you know, everyone would do it, and everyone would earn millions. But that is not really the case. However, I'm not going to sit here and defend, like, oh yeah, me sitting here and talking is definitely worth millions of dollars. It's like, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. But I feel like a lot of times when it comes to earnings, always people want to look at this in like a sense of like, you're not supposed to earn that much, and just like give them a right to get mad about, oh, why am I not earning so much? Why are you earning so much, but I don't? And what you find a lot of times, the people that complain the loudest about like, oh, well, I'm not earning so much, but like I do, it's like, these people are like, oh, I could be just as good as like this guy that's streaming on the top of the game. It's like, I can be just as good. And you go to their Twitch channel and they haven't streamed 1 single second. It's like, yeah, dude. You're saying you can do so well, but you don't actually go through with it. Stop comparing yourself to others, start focusing on yourself, and start building out something for yourself, right? So yeah. Yeah, a lot of people seem to be overlooking the fact that the top earning streamers are still a small minority of content creators on the platform. People complaining about giving money to millionaires, like they don't do that every day. Just jealousy, really. So this is something which I do want to get into. Like, to me, it doesn't, like, I don't really care about, like, how exactly people get, like, paid. People being underpaid for the jobs isn't the fault of streamers. No, it's not. But I do think there is something to talk about, though. Because, like, pretty much, like, if I look at this right here, so here, for instance, is a, holy shit, that's the wrong one. That's just the chat. But yeah, I could do that easily too. My only answer is, why don't you do that then? It's like, yeah, but I don't have the time, or I don't have the, it's like, yeah, there's all excuses, man. And like, of course, like, there is definitely like advantages that people have. I don't want to undermine that, but at the same time, it's like, you know, just look at yourself. But there's something right here. So like, if I look at something like this right here, someone compiled a leaderboard of like literally every single streamer out there, like how much they earned so far for like August 2019 to October 2021. And what a lot of people care about is like literally like what is like, who are the highest up here? $9 million, $8 million, $5 million. It's like a lot of this stuff like I don't really care about, because I already knew that these people were earning a lot of fucking money, because you can just look at their sub counts. You can do that times 2.5, and you know how much they're earning like every month. So like basically you can figure this shit out. You can pretty much know that they're earning already millions of dollars. You don't know exactly how much, but you roughly know how much. I don't really care about that because I would assume that everyone that watches like a top-end streamer from like one of the top lists right here knows that these people are millionaires, knows that these people don't need your $5 subscription to like move on to the next month. I don't really care too much. Quantic says, earnings numbers would be more useful for seeing what small, mid-sized channels make to judge if it's worth trying to get into it because big channel goals are unrealistic. Yes. So this is something where I actually do want to talk about. I am actually more interested when it comes to this to like the small to mid channels sort of thing. The small to mid channels that like how much do they earn? And I actually went out and like checked to see like, okay, it's like, am I on there? Actually, like you can't find me on this list, which I think is quite good. I'm quite happy with that, but I mean like I'm totally fine. What I missed while being on the phone. So basically like we were talking about quick recap. We were talking about the earnings, which seem to be like the prime focus of everyone, which I think is kind of distasteful. I don't really care about what other people make. I don't think it's something that people should focus on. A lot of times, like, people look at these things and want to make like a bad faith argument, like, oh my god, these people should not earn so much money. And I think it's kind of bad. NVIDIA, how's it going? Yay, my sleep cycle has aligned. Woo! As well, the fact that Critical Role involves multiple people, so the amount of the channel is shared as much. I left it in my the preferential stuff with Warframe. So yeah, I'd be a trap streamer easy. The only thing I like is making myself entertaining with little enough to. Why is earnings becoming a topic? It's because, speaking of, so you can hear Twitch got hacked. And like pretty much the entire source code of Twitch is out. Change your password if you haven't done so already. Over 120 gigs of Twitch's source files of their entire infrastructure behind, their entire apps, everything that they were working on, including the exact earnings from people from the last 3 years have been all published. So like all the earnings from all the streamers on Twitch are out right now. And there's probably going to be a lot more because this is what leaked yesterday. This data is from as recent as Monday, and it's going to be like being more like spit through, and like more is going to be coming out. So, yeah, just like right now, like there was like a file in there that was Twitch earnings. So of course everyone was jumping on there and be like, oh my god, I can figure out exactly how much money this streamer is making. It's like people really care about that. And like for things like this right here, where you have like this thing where you can see the exact numbers right here. People like make these things up where you can like look up specific streamers and see the exact amounts that they made. That's something that people got absolutely like crazy about, right? So yeah, it's like that's why we're talking about it, and that's also why we're kind of talking about like where I said Arteria that like this top stuff I don't really care about because I already know that the top streamers of Twitch are making a lot of money. I know about that. And I think that everyone else should know about it. Like, if you are watching, like, one of the top streamers out there with over 10,000 viewers, and you can see their sub count, like, you know how much they're making, dude. You know how much they're making. You can figure it out. Or, like, not exactly, but, like, you can have an idea. You know that these people aren't living in, like, slums. They're not people that are living, like, day by day trying to make it through another day. So that's something which I think is just important to keep in mind. If you have this conception that this top streamer of Twitch was barely getting by, it's like that is probably something that you were getting wrong. But what I think is more important is like the small to mid channels, the small to mid-sized channels. I think Critical Role was popular, but I wasn't expecting them to be #1. I don't know about them, but yeah, like apparently they're doing pretty damn good. I'm just proud of my boy Rambo making fucking bank. These bitches rich, good for them. Good for them, good for them. But yeah. Critical Role is always getting a lot of shit out because they always downplay their income. So yeah, that's something which I do want to talk about. Another question for the next part of the data dumps will include why Twitch went scorched earth with Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, people are like, well, that was one of the first questions people were asking too. Their own explanation was that they started out as a simple group of friends, so they wanted to have that image during the stream. Honestly, if people didn't think the top streamers were rich, then they'd be fucking deluded. Well, I kind of do want to talk about like this entire thing that they were, this entire idea that people are sharing that they're not as rich as they are. And this is something which I think is kind of interesting in the sense of I kind of looked at like what I could find, like what like basically Twitch tracker. There's something which I also want to look up. Well, basically, like I kind of looked around and like I saw that for like some channels which I follow, which are like pretty small size, who I know have at multiple times said like, well, it's pretty rough, I can't get through, I can't get by really, or like, you know, they're kind of like downplaying like how good they're doing. They're like, yeah, I would really appreciate if people could subscribe. It would be really great. People who have spoken with that like it's been pretty rough. Yeah, I really can't get like, yeah, it's been pretty rough. It's not really paying out all that well, all that sort of stuff. Who I've actually had these conversations with. They actually then turn around like they actually like it actually turns out that they're I would say, like, they're not making bank in the millions, but they're making bank, like, it's a pretty decently paid job, that's for sure. It's a pretty decently paid job, and that's something which I find rather interesting, where I'm like, to me, I don't think you guys should ever worry about my finances. I don't want my finances to be your concern. I don't want it to be something that's even on your mind. Because to me, my finances are my finances. They're not your business. They're not like, it's not something that I should share with you publicly. It's not something that you should know about me publicly, because who the hell cares? It's my business. However, if I start telling you guys that I would need you guys to subscribe, that I would really prefer to get some support to like keep this content coming, because without your support, I could not do anything, then I'm kind of making my finances your business, because I'm telling you that, hey, I cannot support myself, so you guys need to help me get to a supportive level where I can like live comfortably, because otherwise I cannot give you guys this. So if you guys want this, then you need to make sure that we get to a level where I can live. I'm making my finances your business then. That's what I'm doing the moment I'm telling you guys, go subscribe to me please, go give me money, please donate. Like, you're making it your viewers' business. So in that case, I think it's totally right for people to like go and like look into like, hey, you know, like have an idea or wonder how much you're making if you are putting the emphasis on, I need you to subscribe, I need you to give me money. I think at that point in time, finances become a thing. I have a very big apathy towards like pushing money on Twitch. I think that like, it's really great that you have this monetary investment system basically, where you can like support, where you can throw bits at it. Like Twitch has a very easy low threshold level to support creators, which I think is great because it supports people like myself. However, I do not wish to like call upon it on stream. I do not wish to like promote it on stream, because I don't think that it should be something which I should rely upon for it to be promoted. So kind of like, let's imagine that I would need to have like water to survive. And in order for me to like get water to survive, I would need to like not just like hold my water under the tab, but every single time we would need to like crank the handle. And the cranking the handle is then like, you know, me doing call outs like, please subscribe, please subscribe. Oh, can you give me money? Can you give me money? Like that's cranking the handle. And then me holding my cup under the water is like me getting money, right? So if I need like a cup a day to survive, like what I want is I want to find like, you know, a water fountain where I can like put my cup underneath, and every single day it will give me a cup of water. I want to have something which is reliable. I do not want to have something where I need to put it underneath there and then like need to crank it really hard and then really hope that, oh, there we go, we have a cup of water. That is not sustainable. That is not something you want to live with. So I think it's a really dumb idea that if you are a Twitch streamer, that you should go and every single time advertise to your audience, try to like exploit them, like basically like convince them to go and like, please give me money, please give me money. Like if they don't do it by themselves, leave them be. I really think that that's something which is like, leave them fucking be, because I really, like, I know what's like being a viewer and being told like, oh man, it would be so great if you subscribed. Oh man, it's so cool that you subscribed. Because I was there. I was 18, I was 17, 16. I came to Twitch and I was like, I fell for that shit. And I don't want anyone that has the decency to come and show and watch my stream to be exploited by me. Like, that is like, what the hell? Like, that's the worst thing which I think you can do to someone. Like, that is something which like I do not want. So that's why I don't do it. That's why I don't care. And that's why I think my finances are not your business, because I don't want them to make it your business. However, if I were to come forward and say like, hey, you know, I can't make my rent, man. Like, please, can you guys subscribe? Like, I'm barely getting by. Can you guys subscribe? At that point in time, if I'm saying that shit, then it becomes your business. Because then I'm telling you like, hey, you're not normally subscribing, but I'm telling you now that I'm doing bad, so I want you guys to subscribe, because, like, I'm convincing you because I'm saying right now I'm doing bad, so could you please subscribe? Then I should also follow up and say, like, right now, I said I was doing bad, but I'm no longer, so you don't have to do it anymore, right? I think that that's something which I think is important. Let me catch up with chat a little bit. Let's see. There have been a few top streamers that were poor thanks to their idiocy. The only reason they got by was thanks to their idiocy, ironically. They're as rich as we think because it doesn't include a myriad of other sources of income streaming provides. Yep, there's a lot of things excluded. Even without the leak, isn't Twitch one of the most basic and easy to understand profit stream to figure out? Yeah, like, I don't really get why people are so focused on like the top streamers, because it's so easy to figure out. If they're paying their taxes, I don't care if the top streamers are rich. Think of the Logan brothers, if you want an idea of their idiocy. I'm concerned for your finance only insofar as as a general concern for you as my friend. The only thing I care about is if you earn enough to show up. If that's fulfilled, all is good. Yeah, but like that's also what I think it's like. I will continue to do this as long as I can do this. If I decide like I need to stop right now, whether it's because I no longer think it's fun or I no longer can pay for it, that's up to me, right? That's not up to you. Suck on the others of the cash cow. That's Twitch. Not just with you, by the way, Michel, but that's with all the streamers I follow. Same here. It's like all the content creators I follow, whether they maybe on YouTube or Twitch. I'm not gonna think every single time like, oh my god, how much money do they have in the bank? It's like, no, I just want to watch their content. If they have to stop making content because they can't get by financially, that would suck. But I'm not gonna like literally support another person with like my finances to make sure that they can continue to create content. It's like that's something up to them. I think it's totally fine for people to ask for money. That's what advertising basically is. It's on the most basic level. Just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean that it's not successful for others, especially those that don't feel shameful for doing it. I don't think it's unsuccessful. Obviously, it works on Twitch, but I do think that that there is a reason why you need to convince people, right? Because if people would do it without being convinced, then there would be no reason for them to convince. So there's something holding them back from subscribing. There's something holding them back from paying. And it's kind of like, hey, you know, if I'm asking you something for a favor, then like, most of the time, if I'm asking someone for a favor, then like, I kind of expect like, at a certain point in time that I need to do them favor back. That's not something that happens here because there's no social relationship here. It's literally just a streamer and their viewers. So it's like, if they give them $5, like, they're not going to care. So that's something which, like, I feel like every single time people, like, try to convince, like, it's kind of like, you know, it's not sustainable. It's really not sustainable, and it's also something where, like, you know, if you're on the other end, and, like, if you're, like, a young kid that's very impressionable and that really likes to have their interaction, because, like, that's something which Twitch is very much about. People, like, liking to believe that they have an interaction with this person, that this person knows them, and there's their friend, which is truly not the case. But then, like, there they go, and they're like, oh, man, I supported them, now they can live another day. It's like, yeah, fuck that. But yeah, the difference is in the why and how I'd say. It's fine to advertise. If you want to support me to the channel, you can subscribe. But using emotional blackmail, like Michel said, is pretty shitty. It might be pretty shitty, but you can see on stream how many people are subbing and giving subs. You can easily compute the amount of money they're made, so it's pretty quite simple. Yes and no, total subs is easy enough, but there's different tiers that throw a bit of a wrench in, and there's bits and donations. And to make it even weirder, there's difference in prices between countries. The female streamers tend to have it easier in that regard, since there are certain categories that where they have something X subs for changing the outfit. Well, I don't necessarily want to go into like the gender stuff. Like the thing which I think is more interesting, like if you know how many subs people have, you can figure it out. But a lot of people also just don't have subs open, right? So this is why I care more about the mid to low tier, like the small to mid tier streamers, because right here I kind of want to go over here. Okay, so actually no, don't look. If you were to guess in the 100% of Twitch, right? In what percentile of Twitch would I be? Okay, would I be in the top 70% of Twitch, the top 60% of Twitch, 50, 40, 30, 10, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Like, what percent would you think this channel right here is in? Like, what would you think? You would be in the lowest percentage. So, what would be the lowest percent? Like, I know that's a meme, but like, just a guess. Let me know what you guys would think that this channel with like about 2,000 followers and like an average viewers of about 10 would be in the percentage of Twitch. And you know what this channel is like, right? You guys have been watching the channel. Like, where do you think that this channel rates? Obviously, it was not meant to be mean. You know that. Yeah, I knew you were memeing. But yeah, just guess. Just guess. Because I personally would have said, I personally think that I'm probably, just from having no clue at all, I would say maybe 60%. Because like if I look at like the stream into like the terms of quality and sort of that sort of stuff, and like being at 2,000 followers, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty decent. I'm in no way near where it's like, oh yeah, you're the biggest on Twitch sort of thing. And I think that like getting to like 10 viewers is something which is tough, but it's not undoable. And I see a lot of people do that. I see a lot of people sit at this range. So I would say probably 60, maybe 50%. I would put it on around there. Equaniquai says, I think you're 50%. Not to be mean, but bottom 40. Good? No, fine. Just go. Otherwise, maybe middle. Isn't this including everyone who's ever streamed? Very high in that case. Bottom 5,000s, I say, because I know medium stream size rates only the 1,000. So yeah, I'm looking for the percentage. Like what percent? So like, let me see how I can maybe 65 or 70%. So yeah, like right here. Let me go draw this. All right, so let's say that you were to have You can see this, right? So you have 0% and 100%, and at like the 0% you have like Ninja right here. So like that's the 0, or like the 1% basically. And right here you have Bob, who just started streaming and has no viewers. So if you say 100%, but yeah, you don't need to get a notebook. Okay, so I see you guys are guessing pretty much the same as I would. Pretty much the same as I would. I was guessing as well, probably somewhere along the middle. That's kind of optimistic, but probably somewhere along the middle. Right here, this is what I found. This right here is Twitch tracker. I'm in the top 5% of Twitch. This channel right here is the top 4.26% on Twitch. Can you believe that? Dude, it's right here. Right, like the channel, the channel right here is the top 161,000 English channel. It's ranked like basically like this rank is assigned to the most popular streamer based on average viewers, followers, and views at stream time over the last 30 days. I'm the top 5% of Twitch. I didn't know either, dude. I didn't know either. I was as surprised as you guys are. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? Like seriously, dude. Could have fooled me. Me too, dude. Me too. I saw this shit. I was like, what? The viewer count at the moment doesn't look all that hot. But if I open a popular category and scroll down for 2 seconds, I see a sea of less than 10 viewers. So just having that amount of viewers is a good sign. Man, my back hurts from carrying these streams. But yeah, so like, the thing is like, I look at this, I would say that I'm like a very like medium-sized streamer. But apparently I'm in the top 5% of Twitch. But the thing is, okay, so I will give you a little bit of an insight as to like, okay, so like, the reason why I bring this up is because when I see that people talk about earnings and people talk about like, oh man, it's so like, oh yeah, like the top streamers, I don't care because we all know that they got a big time. But then I look at like the small to medium sized streamers. I feel that I'm personally a small streamer. Apparently I'm in the top 5% of Twitch, but I am from Twitch. Like I would say I cannot survive from Twitch if I wanted to. There's no need to get into details. It's something that you shouldn't care about. I do not want you to sub or give me money because I can't survive with Twitch. That's just the deal. Like man, I'm just doing this for fun. Maybe at some point I can make a career out of this. Whatever. That's not your concern. You should not make my career. You should just enjoy this. And maybe at some point it will be, but whatever, right? I'm in no way shape, like, I'm not in a place where I can, like, sustain all of this. But that's something which is very widely shared with people that are much larger than me, that have, like, 100 viewers, or 200 viewers, or 300 viewers. They also say that they cannot make a living off of this, or they barely get by, okay? That's something we've largely discussed many, many times. And that's something which has been, like, a very common trend with among streamers, or especially in their communities, where they're like, yeah, it's hard to get by. It's not really good living, right? And that's something which I can fairly understand, because if I look at the amount of money that I get every month, it's like, well, maybe in like 2 or 3 months, depending on the month. If I have a good month, maybe in 2 months I can buy a game. Maybe in 3 months I can buy a game, and it's just buying a game just from the money of Twitch alone, right? So if I then hear that people are like a couple sizes bigger than me, then I'm like, okay, well maybe like if you're talking about this, maybe you're then talking about the money that you could buy like a couple of games per month. But that's no way, shape, or form enough to cover for rent. That's no way, shape, or form enough to cover for food. So a lot of times when people are talking about that, I'm like, okay, so like you guys are barely getting by. I can understand that because like I can look at my own situation, knowing that I'm in like a top 5% sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, so like the situation on Twitch is pretty damn bad because like, you know, it's pretty damn rough to get in. I've had the same thing on YouTube, where the first years of YouTube that I did YouTube, I earned nothing on YouTube, even though I had ads, because I had ads before like the ads closed down for like the smaller channels. And I was earning 2 cents per month that I had on. I had on for like 2 or 3 months, and I had only earned 4 cents in my entire YouTube career. And that's over my entire channel. The channel was getting like about 1,000 views per video at that point in time. And like I was just earning 2 cents, but everyone was talking about how they were earning nothing, right? So I was like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like people were talking about the apocalypse. It was pretty damn bad. It was pretty damn rough. So I can fairly understand that I'm making 2 cents because that's just the way it is. And then someone said like, hey, do you have ad personalization turned off? And I had personalized ads on my channel turned off. So like no one was getting like ads that like Google are selling for like a preferential rate for like, you know, the personalized ads. So when the moment I checked it off, I did one video before like my AdSense was shut off because my channel was too low. And in that one video, I made as much as I made with the entire channel over the months before. And then I was like, how the fuck? Like, why did, like, what? And the only reason I never figured that that was going to be like loan earnings is because people are always talking about how they're barely getting by. So when I see I'm earning 2 cents, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I can get that. I can understand that. Of course, PewDiePie is earning millions, but anyone like that isn't PewDiePie, of course, wouldn't be making that. And that is something which I feel like, because I had that perception, like, yeah, people are barely making anything. It might make complete total sense to me that I would earn 2 cents per like month for like a YouTube video, for like running a YouTube channel, because who cares, right? And that's the same thing which I think is being run on Twitch, because like I seriously thought, now that I have looked at these like at some of the people who I know as well, what they earn, I'm honestly surprised by the amount of money that they get, or like according to this Twitch thing right here. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. It's like, you're not earning millions, that's for sure. Like, none of these people that I know are earning millions. But they are doing a pretty decent good job. Like, they're getting a pretty decent salary. Even though I know that they've been talking to me, and they've been talking to their stream as though they're barely getting by, with streamers, like especially with their audience knowing that, hey, if I watch, like, lower level, like smaller streamers that have, like, about 5 viewers, maybe they have, like, 1 or 2 subscribers a month. So if you are on, like, 100 viewers or something, maybe you have, like, 5 or 20 maybe, at most. Like, there's not really this narrative is very much thrown in that they're like barely getting by, and that is something which I do think is, I don't like that. I do not like that when it comes to people that are like of this mid-size channel or like small to mid-size, where I'm like, dude, I'm in the top 5% of Twitch. I didn't fucking know that. I would not guess that these people are earning the amount of money they do, and I think that a lot of people are like misjudging that. And I don't think it is anyone's business how much you earn. However, the moment you start bringing into the stream that you're barely getting by, the moment you start bringing into the stream like, hey, like, I need to get money for food, I can only barely get by every month, or I need to get money for this, or all that sort of stuff. Well, in the meantime, you're making like a decent like 40K a year, dude. You're like, I think you need to have a certain level of awareness that there are people in your stream who may be students, who may be just like kids working like, you know, odd jobs, not kids even, just adults that are working jobs that are making less than you do. And you're telling them that you're having it rough, so please could you support me. That's something that I do have a problem with. I do not have a problem with like big channels doing that way, because you can see for that bullshit straight away. If there is a big, like, if there's someone with 10K viewers that's saying like, oh, I'm barely getting by, dude, you're doing something wrong, that's on you. And if anyone decides to like support that with their last dime because they're like, oh my god, you know, I can't, like, I'm like, dude, you should have seen that. You should see that, it's very clear. But the moment we're talking about like people that are like small to mid-size, that where it would make a lot of sense that they are not like earning that at all, but it turns out they do it. Like, I'm kind of like, dude, hold on, hold the fuck on. I'm not saying it's wrong, as Espino says. It's like, it's totally fine. It's a business of Twitch. If it works, right? However, I do feel like I do feel now with those people that have spoken to me and said like, oh man, I'm barely getting by. I'm like, bitch, you fucking bitch. Come on. So yeah, like, that is something which like I feel more strongly about, like, the people that to me seem to be in the range where I was like, yeah, you know, it's like, I can totally understand that, like, if you were to tell me that people that like have like 1 to 4 or 500 viewers earn about like a couple $100 a month, I would have said that's totally like that's something what I would have expected, given like what I earn from Twitch, what I know other people that have shown me their earnings on Twitch. Knowing that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably what they get. Between like a couple hundred, maybe you top like 1,000 a month if you're lucky. That's not the case. So that's something which I think is like, just be aware of that. If people like try and use that argument of like, I'm barely getting by, that's something I do have a problem with. So yeah, let me catch up right here. So yeah, I'm unfollowing after this stream as well. Holy shit, you lost 2 followers apparently. Are you guys unfollowing? Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is that I'm guessing the average is like 1 viewer. Yeah, I think there's like a whole abundance of like people that have barely any viewers. I mean, like, I've been losing followers since like the start of this year. Like, basically, like I don't know what's going on with like the follower counts, because it's kind of weird. I have no tracking on that at all. I have no idea why, but basically, like, last year, 2020, I quit Warframe, and I went from like 2,100 all the way down to 2,100 down to 2,200 to 2,150, or like a little bit below 2,150. Then we started doing like Among Us, and like we like, then I felt like the Warframe was completely over. We started doing Among Us, we started doing random shit like Fallout, all that sort of stuff. All of a sudden we climbed up to like 2,160, 2,170, And then all of a sudden, like, the start of this year, it just dropped down to, like, it's now 2066 or something. And honestly, I have really stopped caring because I have no idea why it is. This month, all of a sudden, we've had, like, 12 or 13 or 15 people follow, but also the same amount of people unfollow. Like, I have no idea what the thing behind that is. I have no idea, like, where that comes from, or, like, because, like, I also don't see anyone here in chat being like, dude, I really liked you when you were doing this, but you're not doing it anymore, fuck you. I don't see anyone, like, coming into the chat being like, hey, man, like, I really enjoyed this time, but, like, you're annoying me. I have not seen any negative reactions. I just see that people aren't following. So, honestly, I've stopped caring about it. I literally do not give a damn, because what does a follower count mean if not all 2,000 people, like, show up right now in chat? It's like, doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. Like, if there were, like, 1,800 people right now that are, like, followed to the channel, but they never show up, it's like, they might as well just kind of not be there, because, like, what good does it do for the channel? It means nothing, right? So, yeah. But yeah, Espedo's like, I'm unfollowing after this stream. I would say you're still a small streamer, but 99% of streamers are small streamers. The chances of being a big streamer are low. Yeah, it definitely is. Does the top percent also factor in chat activity or just earnings? Because I watch a few other channels that get like 20 to 30 viewers, and the chat is dead compared to here. That is something which really surprised me as well. Like, the chat is... I can't understand chat sometimes. Like, seriously, like, to me, Twitch is all about interaction, and, like, I can't understand a bunch of things about... Let me catch up with chat first, and then, like, let's talk about, like, the chat frequency in, like, bigger streams, which sometimes just completely blows my mind. I wonder if the consistency of channel interactions has something to do with it, because although it's a small channel, we're a pretty dedicated audience. This goes to show how unrealistic it is for someone to make a streaming career. I definitely think you should never make streaming a career. I don't want to make streaming a career. I mean, like... Okay, so I'm making a contradiction here. I would like, if there wasn't, if I am able to, like, make a bunch of money, that'd be nice. But I will never want this to be my sole career. I never want this to be something where this is my only source of income, because I never want that, like, it's not reliable. This is completely unreliable. I do not want to place the burden of my income on the people that watch me, and I also do not want to be bounded by whatever Twitch decides to do. I always want to have a situation in which I have multiple flows of income, where I have multiple resources that I can pull from, so that if Twitch decides to fuck it, you know, if you're going to say the word fuck, we're going to demonetize your channel. I'm like, fuck you, because I don't need your money. That is something which, like, I think, I always want to be, like, I don't want to be dependent on that shit, and I don't want to be dependent on begging people for money. Like, so to me, like, I don't need to do this to, like, make a streaming career. I just do this because I think it's fun. If I were able to, like, make it a career, that's fun, but people should never get into this for money. So yeah. We talking about PC games then, or console games? Whatever you think it might be. I've heard horror stories of people who gave up their jobs for Twitch when it wasn't sustainable. I mean, I kind of did that in a sense. Basically, like, there's a video out on my channel where a couple of years ago, I stopped doing my university studies to pursue YouTube and Twitch. The reason I did that was because I had an opportunity in which I could actually, for a couple of years, pursue this without having to bother about, like, income and such. And to me, like, at that point in time, I was doing media studies, which weren't teaching me anything about how to do media. It was actually teaching me, like, it wasn't really teaching me anything useful in, like, the practical sense. And around that time, I actually, like, started up a channel which got to, like, like, Twitch partner within a week. I got a channel with, like, the same channel got, like, front page with it, like, within, like, its first streams. It's now sitting over 1 million views, and it's got over 10,000 followers, which was, like, around that time, that was the Boyfriend Fan Channel's channel, which got that big event. And around that, like, when that happened and school got in the way, and I was learning so much more from making my own YouTube videos, from making my own channel, and, like, actually, like, there was this thing where, like, I actually did something pretty decent with, like, one of these channels, which actually made me feel like, hey, you know, now I was like, now I would go to Canada to, like, on TennoCon, like, do, like, a ceremony thing where we'd hand a check or something to, like, the company. Like, I would go to these conventions. Like, there were things happening that I was like, I could feel traction coming from this. I was like, I've been growing up with, like, pursuing, like, swimming as, like, a very competitive sport. I used to train, like, 20 hours a week. I still kind of do, like, 16 to 20 hours a week training just for fun, but I used to do it very fucking serious. That I know that if you want to do something, you got to dedicate yourself to it. So because I saw an opportunity, though I didn't really know what the opportunity was, I thought it was like, oh, YouTube is going great, even though it wasn't YouTube. It was just that I made an event channel that was doing great. That's why I decided that I would learn so much more from this than I'm learning from uni. Because I'd done uni for 1.5 years, I'd done this stuff for 1.5 years, I'd learned so much more from this stuff, that I was like, I'm gonna choose, instead of, like, pursuing this education, I'm gonna pursue, like, practical education, where basically I'm gonna drop myself into the field, basically as I did with swimming, and now I'm just gonna, like, every single day work on this. it was a lot harder than you think it is. I would definitely recommend against anyone doing that if you don't, like, if you want to have something that's in any remote way secure. Because basically you're going to throw yourself into freedom. And that's bad. Because basically, like, what you find is, like, the moment that you decide your day, it's going to be really tough to, like, how are you going to fill your day? What are you going to do? When are targets going to be enough? Like, when do you do what? How are you going to fill in your day? How are you going to, like, fill in for, like, social time? How are you going to fill in for, like, when are you going to wake up? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? When is this going to be good? Like, there is so much you're going to, like, have to learn about yourself. So much psychology you're going to have to dig into to make sure that you actually, like, get things done and make sure you do the right things. Because I could still be making Warframe videos to this day and, like, barely be better off because I would make videos that no one cares about. Or I could have made videos all the way back when, which would now be Mr. Beast videos, and I could be all the way at the top of the charts. It doesn't matter, like, how much work you do, it's how smart you work. So a lot of this is, like, so much figuring out that I've learned so much. It's been very valuable to me. Right now, I'm studying at university again, so, like, I mean, like, I've decided to, like, go back but still keep this up, sort of thing. And I'm only capable of doing those two things because I've learned so much. That said, it's really something where you're just going to be in for a free fall. Do not ever expect that this is going to be something easy where you're going to be streaming every day. And it's like, oh, it's going to be so easy. I'm going to make millions. It's like, no. If you go in with that intention, it's not going to work out. So that's why I would recommend against it. I would always recommend against it because I don't want people that would shy away from people recommending against it to, like, go through with this. Like, I'm going to say, don't do this. And if you're willed enough, and if you're dedicated enough, you will not give a shit if I tell you don't go through with this. You'll go through with it anyway, but if you're able to go through with it anyway, when I tell you don't do this, you'll probably be strong enough to pull yourself out of it when things get really tough. So that's what I would recommend, knowing from my experience. So yeah. Espionage said same for athletes. Yeah, like, let's see. I've heard horror stories. Nothing new. Entertainers have been doing that. Nothing new. Entertainers have been doing that for ages. Same for athletes. Yep. It's very much like make it till you break. It's a high risk, high reward. 99.9% of the people will fail. The 0.1% will succeed massively. And that's just something, you know. Preferential ads is also logical when you look at how their algorithm works with likes, dislikes, and viewer retention. Don't get me started on athletes. Getting paid millions for running in a line or chasing a bull. Well, see, like, I think that is pretty much, like, if you're saying, like, oh yeah, you're getting millions for, like, chasing a bull, it's like you're kind of, like, missing a lot of the point, kind of intentionally most of the time. It's that like, the thing is, like, does the money come from them chasing the bull, or does the money come from them creating something where people want to look at? And then people putting advertisements on there, and then, like, the advertiser actually paying for something that people want to look at. I think it's really, like, the thing that people want to look at, because it is not in the sport. If you are very good at, like, playing soccer, but no one wants to watch soccer, you're not going to get money for playing soccer. But you're people getting paid millions with soccer, because if they play the best soccer, people will watch that shit because they're interested in that, and because it's so hard to actually get to a point where people can, like, watch that stuff, or, like, watch things that, like, it's really hard to get attention. So if you can, like, find something that gets a lot of attention and put your name there, people give a lot of money for that. So that it's more like the fact that gets attention, rather than that actually is something where, you know, it's so much better that people kick a ball around. However, the fact that it brings attention is the reason why, like, it sells well, and it's also, like, scalable. So the thing is, like, yes, like, if you look at, like, what is more productive as a means of, like, the activity itself, someone kicking a ball into a net, or someone like doing open heart surgery and, like, saving someone's life. Obviously, someone's saving someone's life. However, if you're saving someone's life, you can't just save someone's life and, like, scale that up to, like, 1 million people, do that for 1 million people at the same time. If you're kicking a ball in net, and there's a, like, an advertisement behind you, and there's a camera on there that, like, sends it to 1 million people, it doesn't matter, like, what it sends to 1 million people or one person, like, the entire infrastructure is still the same. However, it is the case that, like, this thing now all of a sudden, like, is, like, a lot more scalable, and that makes it interesting for like, advertising. I think that that's a very important thing. Like, look at the whole package. Like, I'm definitely not describing the whole package right now, because there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. There's a lot more going on, like, in the things of why it's making so much money. It's not just advertisement. There's also, like, a sense of that people want to rally behind it. There's people that live their lives for, like athletes, for soccer fans, or, like, club fans, or like watching the Olympics, and why does it happen? There's a certain psychological thing behind that too. Same with Twitch. Twitch also has a certain psychological thing. I think it's a lot more social, rather than like close social, intimate social, rather than, like, rally behind my team. But there's definitely something there where it plays parts in it, where why it, like, connects to people, and those are things which you should not overlook. it's not to say that like, oh yeah, the fact that someone feels close to a streamer in their times that they feel down should be equal to someone doing like open heart surgery. It's like, yeah, but like, no, you're kind of missing the point there, because like you're comparing this one activity and this other activity in like two, like in the same categories, in the same realm, whereas like the money coming from like someone doing open heart surgery sort of thing comes from a different realm than like this entertainment industry. That's a whole different realm where this thing comes from, where the activity itself might not even matter all that much, but the things around it and the intricacies around it are a lot different. In the same way, basically, like actually, like if you're doing open heart surgery, if you were to ever pay for that up front, or if you look at the salaries that people are making there, because like basically like if you're a really high-ranking surgeon, you're probably going to get paid a lot. Why are you paid a lot? Is it because it's so difficult, or is it because you're being paid like you're also being paid for the years of experience? Why, if you go to a car mechanic, or if you go to like someone that's going to repair something for you, isn't it just the part cost, but is it also like a lot more for like all the years that they've spent studying? Like there are so many things that go into a price or into how much someone earns, that I never like this like very like one-sided look of like, oh, they're just kicking the ball around and they're just doing this. Like, you're missing a lot there, I feel. Let's see. They only make that much because we go crazy over them chasing the ball. I don't personally get it, but my relatives will yell at the TV when their favorite cyclist does something inoptimal. With athletes, there's also the fun thing where most of their income is non-taxable thanks to the weird loopholes in the laws. Let's see. Let me skip this right here. Close. Espino says, it's because sports marketing has convinced fan bases that they are a community. Same way they use the term community for viewers on Twitch. Fans are more likely to spend money if they feel they're part of the success of a larger group. Yes, that is, oh my god. That is entirely true. This entire thing, this is why I don't like subathons, because like, oh, can we get it higher, guys? Can we get it higher? Come on, let's go. Woo! We got to 100 subs. Woo! Guys, can I see some hype in chat because we got 100 subs? Like, can you, just think that through, okay? Can we get some hype in the chat because I made 250 bucks from you guys? Because you guys gave me 500 bucks. Can we get some hype in chat because you guys gave me 500 bucks? Woo! Like, that's basically what you're saying. I don't get that. That's why I don't do hype trains, but that's why I don't get that, right? But that is part of Twitch, and people feel like they're part of that community. And that's also something where, like, that Ludwig stream that went on for, like, a month, where, like, he streamed for a month, and, like, the stream would go on, like, 10 seconds for every $5, and people, like, let that go on for 31 days. It's because I wanted to be part of something. It's like, I made that thing go longer. I made that thing go longer. I was part of making that streamer go for the record. It's like, dude, the moment I start going for sub records, holy shit, dude. That is just, like, getting into the minds of people and just being like, dude, we gotta reach that record. Let's all be part of like making that record by like gifting me subs. It's like, dude, fuck off. Fuck off. Don't forget the streamers who basically ignore their chats, like I have been doing now. I'm sorry. Chat frequency also depends a bit on categories, as ASMR is one where it's a good thing when the chat is slow or dead. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Let me make sure I catch up here. Yeah, despite the tribalism around him, especially the misbehavior in some areas, that just gets ignored because that's sport. I just want to eat, sleep, shit, and get paid for it. I will even do it on stream if need be. Well, you have to be Ludwig for that. Sometimes I see a streamer I haven't watched in a year pop up on my following tab. I'm like, oh right, I don't watch you anymore, and unfollow because I forgot they I even followed before that. Maybe your random unfollows without dissatisfaction in chat are similar to that. I believe so too. I think like a lot of these followers came from like Warframe hosts, so like it's kind of like, it's so like there was a time, especially like the start of the year, because like we had this downward trend where like basically we like we went from like, I was at 2200, then I stopped doing Warframe, which I was totally expecting it to crash. I saw it go down, but I never saw dissatisfaction in the chat. So I was like, oh wow, hey, you know, I'm actually like pulling this one through, where we're only losing like 50 or so followers, and then we were kind of gaining when we're doing Fallout, when we're doing Among Us, and then like it was like literally towards like the end of last year, December 2020. We were on an upward trend, and afterwards it just like it crashed down. And I remember the first days of the year I was really worried because like it made no sense to me that all of a sudden like going up, it all of a sudden crashed down. I had no idea, and I just decided I'm not gonna care because there's no way I can control this. Maybe it's just people that just randomly decide to unfollow. Fuck it. What does it even mean to me? It means nothing. Does it impact the stream? No. And I'd rather have the people just unfollow and then they just like go and disrupt the stream, because it's for me much more important that I have like a fun time with the people that watch, rather than I start worrying about people that left, sort of thing. So yeah. I mean, Chatterbait probably has a category for those. There are actually categories for all of these things here. Creating a Chatterbait account right now. Omegalo, man was a professional swimmer. Fish boy, you should pursue Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and drop everything else. You would fucking love it. I actually think I would love it. Everyone in chat should at least try. Isn't that also just watching trends to keep the numbers high? I've tried it. Oh, Dude, it's really cool. We should all become ninjas. Thoughts? More like killers in pajamas. It was fun, but the class got cancelled because before he passed the white belt. Damn. Let's see. Oh no, that, was that because the program ended or was it because of COVID? Rap says, hell no. If we're gonna be ripped fighting for it, when we're showing those physiques off, doesn't change the fact that the main selling point is kicking a ball. Well, I don't believe that the main selling point is kicking a ball. It's just like that's what people get interested in, and like the main selling point, what sells, like what actually makes money, is the billboards side of it. Just in the same way that this content doesn't sell, it's just the advertisements around it, which I also just want to talk about very quickly. Let's see. First one was because of a lack of attendance. We started with 30 people. 2 months after, 2 months later, we were left with 8. The second one was cancelled because one lesson thanks to COVID. Damn. Streamlining the hobbies. You say like the difference in these industries aren't also problems, at least in this particular regard. Well, I hope you get back into it once you feel safe to do so. I love jiu-jitsu and talk about it like I'm a cult member. I was never scared of that virus. I mainly got annoyed by how our political leaders are dealing with it. I still don't know why I watch this 20-something Dutchie, because I personally but I do because I personally consider Michel a friend and would even continue to do so even if he stopped streaming. See, now that's dangerous because you're developing parasocial relations. Watch out for that. And like I said it with like a meme tone, but do watch out for that. Like similarly, dude, like espionage, I do also consider you to be like not just like a random chat that just stops by and like never that just stops by and I'll never see again. And if you would like stop watching the stream, but I would see you like online on Apex, like I would still be like, hey dude, want to play a game? But yeah, like I do want that's something which I do want to watch out for, though, because the thing is like I've said this like last year, like I've said it like half a year ago, maybe a couple months ago as well, and I will say it again. And don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not your friend. Okay? This is something that I want to say to everyone here in chat. I am not your friend. What I see as a friend is like, I know you, you know me, and we know each other very well. And like, I care about my friends as much as I care for myself. And the fact of the matter is that for pretty much everyone here in chat, I don't know your name, I don't know where you live, I don't know who you are, I don't need to know that, I don't even know your face, I don't need to know that, but because of that, like, you don't even know who I am. You only know me here, you do know my face, you don't know where I live, you don't know exactly who I am, you don't know what I do outside of this. The only thing that you have is a 2-hour view in my life, where obviously I'm going to be talking, I'm going to be showing you things, which, like, I'm gonna do things on stream. I'm not gonna not do things on stream, basically. So there's a side of me you see, which is a side of me. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that very much in mind. Like, it's very weird to say like you're not my friend, because I do consider you to be like in the light sense a friend, because like you're not a random chatter. You're someone that like I just, you know, hang out with outside of stream sometimes, where we're just like chill in Discord or just play some games. Like I like that, and like I would say like in the casual term you'll be like, yeah, we're friends, right? We're friends. However, if it really comes down to like, are you friends in the fact that in the sense of like, hey, you can call me at any time at night and like I'll be there, or like, hey, you need something, I'll be over, or like, hey, you know, I know exactly what's going on with you, you know exactly what's going on with me. No, that's not the case. If you were to like friends, like in this case, when I say you're not my friend, in the sense of like, if a friend of mine, a real friend of mine that I know like for years, like physically, were to show up in front of my door at a random point in time, I'd be like, hey, what's up? If anyone from chat were to show up in front of my door at a random point in time, I'd probably scream and call the police, because that would be weird. Okay, if I see you guys at conferences, that's cool. Like, let's say that like we see each other at conferences and like we meet, we like I've also built friendship with people like from online, like because we saw each other and like we actually developed a friendship later on. But that doesn't come out of Twitch chat. That doesn't come out of what streaming. And that's the same way. If I were to suddenly stand in front of your door, you'd probably also scream and call the cops. If you didn't do that, I'd be like, dude, go scream and call the cops right now, because I'm not supposed to be here. That's something which I do want to like pretty much like point out, because that's something which I do think is, you know, it's so weird, because saying like you're not my friend to me is so mean. I would also say like, dude, yeah, we're friends, man, we're friends. Like, because like I would play against you outside of stream. I don't really care that you're like a viewer. Like I don't see most of you as viewers or like followers or people in my community that I need to like impress or impress. No, I need to like influence as an influencer, because fuck that, man. But like I do think that I do want to make that distinction, just because like I know that there has been in the past, there has been some cases where people have misinterpreted it and they thought it was more, and I know that that's like with the size of this community alone, that is like, it's manageable, but I just want to make sure that I have safeguards in place in case, like, because like my biggest worry is like we've had some like some issues along the way with like growing the community. There last year, especially around the Among Us time, and like when we started gathering more as a community, like there were some things that showed up because, you know, maybe memeing went too far, or maybe we figured out this or that. And like, I think it's really curious to like now tackle these problems. I would be really scared, like, let's say like this, like all of a sudden the biggest streamer were to host us 5 times in a row, and now all of a sudden we got like 10,000 people here in chat, and now all of a sudden after half a year, half these people think that they're my friend, and they want to find me, and they want to go and like look at my phone number, and they want to figure out exactly where I live, and they all want to show up in front of my door. Dude, I'd be scared as fuck. So I kind of want to make sure I hit that before there. Arturia says, been with a few subathons and they can be fun, but it completely depends on the streamer in chat. I mean, like, I agree with that, because like for me, like the thing is, as long as it's like recognized that this is like to me, like, I like charity streams more, because a lot of times like it goes about like getting a monetary number higher. I love the thing with charity streams that it goes to like a good like a good cause. If it goes towards a streamer, I can understand that. I think that's cool, but it's got to be very clear that this is what's going on. And a lot of times, like, that is kind of like being missed. But it needs to be done well. The Lovevic sub-record shit was so fucking sad to watch. I thought it was kind of fun, in a sense. The fact that, like, people were going so crazy, and the fact that, like, this guy had actually gotten himself into a situation where people were paying him for this, for like, $2 a second to exist. Like, that shit was crazy. It's like, the fact that someone's gotten into that, like, good on him, man. Fucking good on him. And the fact that, like, he is, like, smiling and be like, ha ha ha, $2 a second, woo! And that, like, the people that are paying him are like, ha ha, he's gonna have to continue to stream. Like, everyone thought they were getting each other, and, like, everyone was, like, kind of like, ah! It's, like, on the one hand, like, I can also see, like, it's like, something that works out very well. Like, yeah, it's just something that, that just happens, right? Let's see. Oh, Michel, if you want to know how I knew that thing with Chatterbait, I watched Project Melody in the past. Weird but funny. I definitely still keep in touch if you stop streaming. Watch out, Michel. People know you're not making money. God damn it. Truth is out of the bag. If you look me up, you can't find me because I don't make money. Oh man, I don't mean literally, I mean secondhand. I can guarantee that no one remembered a single person who partook in the giving money to extend the stream solely to reach a record number of people who've given money to a streamer. Yep. Though, well, we're gamer friends, not like a close friend, you weirdo. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly true, and that's something which I want to make sure is very, very clear. Because they're like, the reason that I really emphasize this is because I've had people that would say that shit, but then would expect that we were close friends. And that's something I never want to have happen again. I just want to make very clear that that's the case, because, oh my god, that's kind of creepy. People in the Discord have actually seen my face. I don't think they realize it, though. Rahab secretly is just PewDiePie or someone. You're damn soldering. Yeah, those are funny, Michel. Well, we're not friends. Damn, to think of adding you to my party in Minecraft. So, like the reason why I think it's weird to say that, and why I do say it like that, why I do say we're not friends sometimes, is that, like, if we, like, to some people, the word friends means this thing where it's like, oh, you would be happy if I just suddenly showed up in front of your door because you said we were friends, right? It's like, and that's why it's so tricky, because like to some people it just means like, yo, yeah, you know, we just gamer friends, totally fine. We stream friends, totally fine. But to some people it means we're close friends, and I've had that happen, and it was not fun. It was not fun, and I don't want that to happen again. So yeah. We can prove it's not about kicking a ball right now if we want to. Just bring a ball into the stream and kick it. Either the views will suddenly go into the millions, or it's not all about kicking the ball. Do I have a ball here? I don't know, actually. I should have one around. Navy, I remember one that's mainly thanks to how he always did stuff. I wouldn't call the cops. I'd shoot you with my crossbow. You wouldn't want me at your door, yet I'm living in your rules. Curious. You can have positive interaction without being friends. It's important to hold the distinction. Instead of calling the cops, I just get a pistol. You northerners with your pistols. So the British use crossbows instead of guns. Strange. Funny that you're speaking about that, because I was thinking a bit about friendship. I think many people have their own definition of friend. Definitely. And like, I think most of the relationship problems are caused by what Aristotle says 2,000 years ago. Aristotle wrote this down. Problems with friendships are caused when like the idea of friendship or like the relationship is wrong, is off. So like this is literally where most like problems people have with each other come from, is when their like idea of where they stand is off. When one person thinks they're very close and one person thinks they're not close, and then like they have expectations where like, hey, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, and then the other person says no, and that's something that can cause a lot of friction. And because, like, friend can mean anything from, like, I've seen people that, like, I met for the first time, like, oh, hey, friend, how's it going? To them, it's just like, hey, buddy. And I've seen people that are like, yo, man, I want to tell you something, okay? You're my friend now. And it's like, to them, that means, like, you're one of the select few people that I, like, care most intense about, and, like, you're the close, like, so, like, because it's such a wide term, like, that's weird. Hey, chat, who wants to go and knock on Michel's door next week? Holy shit. Please don't. I could literally go and buy a gun if I wanted. Crossbows are just easy to get a hold of. Though that did change recently thanks to some prats in London. Joined the 24-hour subathon once, and while it was fun, we were all dead at the end for a few days. It was fun for once, but never again the subathons. Dude, I did love that shit. Because, like, during the 100 hours of Warframe, I slept, like, 10 hours at most for those days, and you were dead tired, but you did something really cool. It was fun. If you got his address, we can knock on his door next week, Friday. Holy shit. I'm hacking his stream right now to get his address. Honestly, I wouldn't care if you showed up at my house or not. I don't answer the doors. We Nordlings are still more sane than your Sunlings, though. Turn it up, what's the option? I think the word friends is overused nowadays. Social media are partly a reason for that. I don't think it's overused. I believe that there's been added facets and types of friends due to social media. Well, here, I don't think it's like a modern thing. Hold on. This book was written by Aristotle. Okay. When does Aristotle live? Aristotle was born in the year 384 BC, okay? What do we have here? Right here we have an SD card. Why the fuck is there an SD card in here? Oh yeah, here. Let's see, right here. Because here's the 3 different kinds of friendship. Let's see. What constitutes a friendship? There are, however, not a few divergent views about friendship. Some hold that it's a matter of similarity, that our friends are those who are like ourselves, hence the proverbial saying like to like, birds of a feather, etc. Others take the contrary view and say that people who are closely alike are all potters to each other. Some inquired into the same question more deeply along the lines of natural philosophy. Euripides saying, "Earth like a lover longs for rain. When it's parched, and again the holy heaven too, being filled with rain, yearns on the earth to fall." So yeah, this is about the implication of affections. Perhaps it will throw light on the subject if we get a clear conception of what an object of affection is. It is generally accepted that not everything is loved, but only what is lovable, and that this is either good or pleasant or useful. It may be thought that useful means nothing more than productive of some good or pleasure, so that only objects of love are ends. So that only objects of love that are ends would be good and pleasant. Is it then the good that people love, or only what is good for them? Because sometimes these conflict. So basically, like 2,000 years ago, people were trying to figure out what kind of friendships there were, and Aristotle says that there are 3 different kinds of friendship. So you would have friendship based on utility. So utility is an impermanent thing. It changes according to the circumstances. So with the disappearance of the ground for friendship, the friendship also breaks up, because that was what kept it alive. Friendship of this kind seem to occur most frequently between the elderly, because at their age, what they want is not pleasure but utility, and those in the middle or early life who are pursuing their own advantage. Such persons do not spend much time together because they sometimes do not even like one another, but therefore feel no need of such association unless they are mutually useful. For they take pleasures in each other's company only insofar that they have hopes of advantage from it. Friendships with foreigners are generally included in this class. The second class of friendship that Aristotle defined 2,000 years ago, trying to figure out what the word friend means, Friendship based on pleasure. Friendship between the young is thought to be grounded on pleasure, because the lives of the young are regulated by their feelings, and their chief interest is in their own pleasure and the opportunity of the moment. With advancing years, however, their tastes change too. So they are quick to make and to break friendships because their affection changes just as the things that please them do. And this sort of pleasure changes rapidly. Also, the young are apt to fall in love, for erotic friendship is for the most part swayed by the feelings and based on pleasure. That is why they fall in and out of friendship quickly, changing their attitude often within the same day. But the young do like to spend the day and live together, because that is how they realize the object of their friendship. Aristotle would touch the bows. I don't care what his faults were, lol. Smart but a creep. But yeah, so like here, I think the final was perfect friendship is based on goodness. So like 2,000 years ago, people were already talking about like figuring out like what is friendship. So it's not really a modern thing necessarily. But yeah, Let's see. So what you're saying is we need to formally construct tiers of friendship with defined parameters. Yes, Nvidia, that's what I'm saying. Okay, okay. Let's come up for air. Let's not be so serious, Nvidia. I think you're totally right. Okay, I think you're totally right. We need to define some tiers. We need to define some tiers of friendship. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Tiers of friendship incoming. Holy shit, boys, we're absolutely gonna be serious right now. We're totally serious. Please don't take this seriously. But yeah, let's go with friendships. Okay, so let's go and define some tiers of friendship. Let's see. So we're gonna have like I think like the lowest tier is just like casual acquaintance. Okay, lowest tier casual acquaintance. Like mid tier, I would say gamer friend, and then the high tier, I would just say god friend. Okay, so like god tier friend. Okay. So, like, you know, we share everything together. We share okay, so we have 3 tiers, okay? So this will be tier 1. This will be tier 2. And this will be tier 3. And I would say $5, $15, $25, okay? Or $10, $25. And yeah, there you go. Please subscribe! Don't take this serious. It was just like, I felt that the tiers was just perfectly fitting to like, oh yeah, pay $25 to be my good friend. To be my bestest friend, woo! Because that is the way that Twitch works. If you want to be the highest tier, my friend, tier free subscription, baby, woo! Oh man, oh man, oh man. Also, we just needed to have a moment of stop taking things too seriously. So, yeah, I also remind me that at a certain point in time, I did want to come back to the thing about the frequency of chats in chat on Twitch. Because that is something that I did want to get back to. I pretty much draw hard lines between 1 IRL friends, 2 online friends I'd like to meet eventually, and 3 online friends I like chatting and playing with. And when it comes to small streamers where I talk to them in chat and directly have conversation with, I did have a problem a few times where I didn't know if I'm just a name in chat or if I were the number 3 friends. So the thing which I found is that tier 3 is $19.95, by the way. Well, if you pay $25. Whatever it is, whatever it is, tier free. But yeah, okay, so what I find quite is that that difference between IRL friends, online friends, and just solely online friends is a very important one. Because what I found is that online, it is very easy to get a picture of someone, okay? If you are engaging with someone in real life, you're meeting multiple facets of them. So if we're working together, let's say in an office, if we're working together as students, if we're training together, in a training session or something, we're physically doing something together. It's much easier to get to know each other because you're seeing someone in a natural environment. You're both working in a natural environment. There is there's not this weird thing where I'm speaking and you guys are chatting sort of thing, where there's a delay in sort of thing, and I pick out what I react to and you guys just throw things out there, and it's far more natural, and it's a far more easier to get an idea of what this person is, and you're more likely to see that person as a person, rather than make up an idea of this person. Because when you get to online, the thing which I find when it comes to online is that you only get a limited limited amount of information. So even if it's just me just chatting with someone online that I don't watch a stream or whatever, I'm just chatting with someone, they can only they only share with me what they want to share. They only share with me text, or they only share with me voice, and they do that at certain points in which they decided they want to share that. If we're working together every single day, there's you're gonna have bad days, I'm gonna have bad days, we're gonna get to know many sides to each other. However, if I have a really bad day, I'm not going to be streaming, because I don't think it's entertaining, I don't think it's fun, I don't want to bother you with the things that I deal with, and I don't want that to be out on the internet. So I think that is something which is because of that, it is far easier to form an idea of people in your mind that is a perfect picture. And that is something which I do want to see. How can I most effectively smash this idea of I am an idolized person inside your head? Because I'm not an ideal person. I have my flaws. I have many flaws. I'm not a perfect person. I make mistakes. And I'm pretty much exactly like you. So that's something which I don't want people to get this idea inside their heads that I am some sort of person they want me to, that they want me to be. And I've had it happen. I've had it happen where because this is why these friendships are often super intense and then they super fail, is because these people tend to think that you are fantastic, because they have this image in their head of how perfect you are, and in the moment you break that, it's the entire thing breaks down. And that's why you'll see comments oh, I thought you were good, but then you showed me an Apple product and now you're horrid. That's why cancel culture becomes such a thing, because people are perfect until there's one thing that shatters their view, and boom, there it goes. So yeah, I do make a distinction very much between like online friends I'd like to meet. I do make that distinction also very much. And to me, like online friends are online friends, like people that I would meet in like people that I meet in a game, people that I meet on chat, people that I meet in like Discord or something, they're all like the same to me. So it's like, if I meet you in a game once and we just have a good game and I never see you again, that's the same as like someone shows up in chat and then we'll never see them again. If I see them a couple of times in like a Discord, I see them a couple of times in a game or whatever, like yeah, that's the same thing as like you showing up like a couple of times but never really sticking around. If you're someone that's always in the clan, that's always like I'm always raiding with, or I'm always like, you know, playing a game with, or I'm always like, you know, or I was chilling in a Discord, that's the same as like in the chat, because like it's very similar in that sense. And that's also how I feel like there are some people that are like always showing up. I think like one of the longest people that's been around is like Tribal, like for fuck's sake, like he's been around for so long. Like I think it started out with Tribal, Jin, and Emil were like the very first that were around here, and like that does feel like somewhat special that they have been around for so long. But also the same of it's like the same with you guys. Like Nvidia has been around for like fucking ever. Rahab has been around forever. Espionage is always like, he joined after the Warframe days, which like actually pretty quickly after the Warframe days, and then like basically it's almost been like a long fucking time. And like same with you, Federer the Crow is like it's like you guys have been around for a long time, so like that means something. It's like, and like the best way I would describe it, the way that it feels to me and the way that I hope it also feels to you, is like you know, we're only clan sort of thing. You know, like it's like if there are people in like a clan on like a game you're playing with, it's like you don't know these people. Like, you don't know their real name, but you know them, like, from, like, their username, and you like to chat with them. That's the way that I think it's best described. Also, Big Shot, I see you there. I'm catching up with chat, but I'll get down eventually. Further, of course, that's true. I hate the way so many platforms use the word friend. It's physically impossible to have as many friends as Facebook accounts would have you believe. Oh, man. And the video, I do that with women, especially those I have sex with. Where did that come from? So you're saying that we need to formally construct tiers? Oh yeah. I mean, I consider your friends as we've interacted fairly regularly for 3 years now, but there's a distinction between friends and close friends. But I can still acknowledge that the reality that's through that screen. Let's see this. That's why I have the crossbow. Isn't that similar to the free masks we always wear? I always thought that we touched little boys, so I actually didn't know about that. What I was about to say, those old philosophers were definitely a product of their time. Not sure if there was them of applying their words to modern context. I think that there is partly definitely like a thing where it's like, hey, you know, why did these words still survive? Why do people still look at them? Because like if there's something like, if there would be still like a book saying that, hey, electricity is generated by just praying to the gods to just have it like sap down electricity, like we wouldn't like listen to that anymore. I think that there's a reason that these like there is something in there, the reason why these books survived. However, like you should never read books as though they're gospel. Like always use them to construct your thoughts. I just think it's interesting to bring this thing up that 2,000 years ago people actually thought about this and people were already having problems with this, so it's not just a modern day thing. So that's just why I was bringing it up. Let's see. I mean, a bolt sticking for you or being ghosted in person, one is physical strain, the other is mental. Arturia says, isn't that also a thing at the time? It's a thing that still happens, but was more openly accepted back then. Yeah, back in the day, back in the ancient Roman or Greek times, you would have this thing where you would have like young boy houses. It was very normal in like these ancient times for men to have like a homosexual relationship with a casual homosexual relationship with young boys, and like that was the entire idea. It's like, you know, you would just have boy play basically in these like Greek bathhouses sort of thing way back, but like it was also the same society that would just like throw people to like to animals as a means of entertainment. So like it were very different times. I mean, things were very differently accepted. So yeah, an old example I have for that is espionage is what was seen as magic in the past is now considered to be science. The best thing about a weapon is that I can turn it on myself. If the door knocker gets too annoying. Dude, Rahab is like, who's there? I got a belt and I ain't afraid to hang myself. You can do that meme, holy shit. Is there a cheat code to get to God tier without money or sexual favors? Big Shot, how's it going, man? How are you doing, dude? Hope you're doing well. By the way, if you don't know yet, Twitch was hacked. Be sure to reset your password, change your password to something else, because Twitch's entire source code got leaked. They have so much files, it's insane. I wonder, like, if there's something they don't have, right? So yeah, So yeah, hold on. There was Big Show right there. Let me see. So for tier 3 sub, you will tell me all your fetishes. I was just about to make the same joke. Your tiers of friendships with me is determined by how much money you give me on OnlyFans. tier 3 is $19.95, by the way, not $24.95. Yeah, here in Holland it's cheaper. We just get lucky. Inflation. That's why I said there's a difference between countries. In America, it's still $25. Have no worries. I don't idolize you in this slice. Michel being ideal, the thought never even crossed my mind. I'm so glad. I'm so fucking glad. I'm a very small Discord service where we talk to each other on a daily basis, but I'd almost seem like a different person in each of those. You really need to hang out with these people IRL to actually know them. Absolutely. Oh, God forbid they learn your opinions on Barraketeer. Dude, I actually had people, like, break off my friend. Like, that's an example. Like, people fucking broke off friendships with me because I said that Barraketeer didn't have good items. An in-game trader did not have good items. I said that they're like, oh, you're fucking... I'm not even gonna say what they said, but they were upset and they broke up the friendship with me because I said something bad about a trader in a game. It's like, that is the level on which people get, and then they're like, you say one thing that doesn't fit their worldview, it's like, butts! And everything shatters. And I actually want to shatter it before that. Because I don't want people to hold a view that just hinges on one single thing, because that's not who I am. I just come when I notice you being aligned. That's simple. Yep. And like, that's also the way I handle Twitch. It's like, I just go on Twitch, I see someone's online, I'll join this stream. I gotta do something else, I leave the stream. It's like the way I do it, it's the way I handle Twitch, and the way I expect you guys to handle Twitch too. Wait, who are you? I don't know you. I found you when you were playing Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, 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 yes. I remember that. I was like, that was the very first stream I did, the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer. And I was playing that, and like, you showed up. I was like, oh shit. Like, I still remember that stream. I don't know the exact stream, but I do know that you came for that stream. Like, that's the thing, is like, for like a bunch of you, I still know which stream you kind of like showed up. So yeah, I've been lurking forever. Nice. I know, I'm appreciated in a reasonable way. We don't actually know if they said that stuff though. For all we know, it could have just been a tribute tab. Well, more than in the bathhouses, it was basically an apprenticeship system with some benefits. One of the most blatant cases of people manipulating society for their desires. You know, you can get that deal with VPNs. Yeah, that's what I was referencing. I would never think of a Southerling as an ideal, but you're just saying the truth. You're kidding, right, with the Barra stuff. Which one I showed up, Michel? No, I'm legit. There was one tweet I made. So Barraketeer, this in-game Void trader, right? This in-game trader showed up for his 100th visit, okay? This 100th visit was greatly celebrated on the social medias by the game that, oh my god, this visitor is joining for the 100th time! And this visitor, when he started joining in, when this trader started joining in, he gave insane items that would just literally like hold the game to a screeching halt that people would be like, oh my fucking god, he's got this, dude, you gotta have this, you know? It was a real happening. Later on, they just kind of stopped doing that. The 100th visit comes along, and there is nothing new. It's just rehashed, like it's pretty much the same as last time, maybe some new items, so some more items, but nothing new. So I just literally make a tweet. Like, I don't know what the hype is about. Oh yeah, here's a quick rundown of like the Void Trader's inventory. He's got absolutely nothing. Nothing you're gonna care about anyways, so who gives a fuck? And then I get like a DM of someone like, oh my god, how dare you, you're like I thought you like oh my god, like, oh dude, like it was an entire parade of people. They're just like throwing shit like, oh, how could you, it's ridiculous, whoo, and like they were offended. And I was like, dude, chill, okay, goodbye. Fun fact, a couple years later I actually speak with them. I actually send them a message because like they were actually also creating content, and I was reaching out to them because like I wanted to do something, like Joey wanted to do a project together where we would like reach out to Warframe content creators and maybe do something where we'd like, for each Warframe, make like a mini documentary series. We wanted to make a documentary series in New York, have people come over to creator spaces. Like we had an entire idea. I need to get like as many people, like data from as many people as possible about what their favorite characters in the game were. So I also reached out to this person because I was like, you know what, like they were also part of this like this program, and like I'm not gonna like hold personal grievances and then not ask these people if I can get valuable data and it might help the project for Joey. So I was asking this person this, like, what are your three favorite characters in this game? And then they came back to me and said like, oh dude, it's so good to speak to you, like, yeah, the game is so bad, man, I can't play it anymore, it's horrible, it's shit. And it's like this guy, this person was saying like, to me they were saying like, how dare you, you can't criticize this game developers, you should be grateful, they come into work every day, you should be thanking God on your knees that they come to work every day. And then they were like, dude, this game is so shit and they can't do anything. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, so what did you bring this friendship up for Just for you to come around and say like, oh shit, it's like, come on, dude. But yeah, yeah, that shit actually happened for that. If it makes you feel any better, there have been nights where I looked at your Gone Live notification and thought, no, that is totally fine. 100%, dude. I have that too. Like, there are so many streamers where like, I'll just be like, no, I don't feel like it today. Maybe I feel like it now. 100%, dude. The Katir situation seems silly, but I'm willing to burn bridges over brass being the color of for prime frame metal parts. Oh man, I don't even remember what he bought for the number 100. It's like, it was garbage. It was absolutely fucking garbage. It wasn't even worth talking about. But D was hyping the shit up, and it was right at the time that like people still had faith that they could like come back and like actually bring something in, but they actually didn't. It was right at the time that people were kind of losing hope, and they're hyping the shit up. I'm like, dude, he's got nothing. I'm just memeing on Twitter, dude. It was insane. It was crazy. But that was one of those examples. So yeah, I knew Bora had said at his Sims, didn't know anyone was drinking the Prisma bathwater that hard. I don't even remember what he brought last week. I don't even know if he's still around. But yeah, now that I've caught up with chat, let's talk about chat. Because Equaniquai actually brought up a little while ago, about half an hour ago, that you do have this thing where like the frequency of chat seems to be very weird depending on like channels. Like there are channels of my size where barely anyone talks. There are channels of like 500 viewers where like they only have a fraction of like the interaction we have in chat right now, and I think that's kind of strange. I think that's really strange. Of course there's a difference in categories. I find out when it comes to like playing PvP games, whenever I play Apex, whenever I play Halo, I've seen there's a lot less communication in chat going on. I think it's also because like the way that I react, like in Apex, I'm very much focused on the game, and I don't have as much time to like react with chat. I'm also communicating with my teammates. Whereas in Halo, during the open beta, I didn't have to communicate with teammates. I was like kind of focused on the game, but I also not all that much. But still, I think it kind of goes down because like what I find whenever I'm watching like someone play like a PvP competitive game, I'm more interested in like, oh man, the story of that game. So like if a battle royale starts, like I'm kind of interested in like, okay, they land, how is this game going to evolve, and are they going to get to the first place, are they going to die, what are they going to do next, sort of thing. And you're more focused on like watching than you're like, oh, let's talk about our day, let's discuss something. Where right here we're not really having a story of like, hey, I just jump into like the battle's so right now, or we're fighting and we're going to try and get to the first place. Oh, we died, let's try again. We don't have that because I'm just sitting here in a room and I'm just talking to you guys. But the entire thing here is that we have a discussion and I read whatever you guys are saying. We're having a back and forth. So I can see that right here in this situation, the chat is a lot more like it's a lot more encouraged. And as you guys say, with like an ASMR channel, it's not really like yeah, most likely if you're like listening to the sounds, you don't want to be clattering on your keyboard and like having conversations. That's not really the thing. But I do think it's interesting though, especially when you have games where it's like literally the same game, where like it is a game which really allows for communication, and there's so little communication. I find that especially in the range of 100 to like 700 or so, like you can have dead channels still. Like when it comes to over 1,000 to like 10,000, like above that, like you'll always have like chat going, and it's more like a crowd. You don't really have a conversation, it's just like a crowd that's spamming emotes. But when it comes to like between 100 and 700, you can still have like there are people that I follow that have like 500 viewers, and I go in there and it's like a fraction of the chat that I have, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? And to be honest, like I don't know. I really don't know. To me, like in my opinion, it's like I'm not gonna speculate whether they have skew bots or whether they have like whatever, like, you know, people just lurking or whatever. Like that's not to me, like I don't really care about it. The thing to me is more like, I think it's like kind of sad because like I really like that, you know, we have 11 people here and like a bunch of you guys are here just like having a conversation, and I love doing that. Like I would love doing that with 500 people, like if like the same fraction would do that. But it's like, it's so weird if the chat is just completely dead and you just have like 500 people watching, but it's just like, so because like a lot of times, like I feel Twitch thrives off the interaction. What I do sometimes when it comes to what I'm like gonna be doing more often whenever we did the Halo playthrough, I do kind of do that with the intent of like making content. So what I do when we do the Halo stuff, so like the Halo Combat Evolved, when we're going through like story games like Cyberpunk, it is also for like I'm more focused as well on delivering like a playthrough experience. So like in these things, you might notice that I'll be a lot more so like, okay, so we just did this, now we're gonna do that, and I'll be a lot more commentating on what I'm doing, because I also want this to be a thing where like, hey, if you want to see me play through Cyberpunk, it's also got to be experience where if you watch that back on the YouTubes, or you watch that back in like the highlights or something, you can still enjoy that and see that as me playing through a game rather than me just constantly just being like, oh, being behind chat. I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of skipping for Cyberpunk, but I'm not really following the story because we're just talking about penises in chat. It's like, yeah, I don't want that to be. And that's the same with podcasts. Whenever we're doing podcasts, I tend to reach out far less, because I think with podcasts it's a lot better for the conversation, because like a conversation content that we're doing where I focus on the person that like I'm doing the podcast with, so we're actually having a conversation one-on-one, and we can actually like follow it, rather than that we're just like, oh yeah, you just said something, but I'm just going to completely ignore it because someone in chat just said penis. I feel that you'd be missing something there. But whenever it comes down to like just a stream where it's like not about doing a playthrough, where it's not about like creating the content in the sense of like doing an ASMR thing or doing I distinguish between like interaction streams and content streams and skill streams. You have skill streams, which are music, or they're like really high esports, like they're just watching the skill of someone. You have interaction streams, which are just about like what we're doing right now is an interaction stream, like we're just having a back and forth. I'm reading chat, you guys are posting things in chat, I like talk back, and like the entire like content of the stream comes from just our interaction live, and these are like will probably be somewhat fun to watch afterwards. Maybe like sometimes I'll go back and like watch these streams, I think they're fun to watch. However, like the main fun point of these streams are like if you're watching them live, you can actually like have a back and forth together. And then if you have like content streams, they're more like you can watch them live or you can watch them not live, doesn't really matter. So like playthroughs, I still enjoy watching playthroughs of like old streams basically, and like I enjoy watching them. Also like if there's collaborations, like the Among Us streams, I still think are very fun to watch back, because you have the interaction between the people that are live on stream, or like content streams would also be podcasts or ASMR things. Like there is something going on there as well. So, but a lot of times like these streams, we'd have 500 viewers in chat in an interaction stream, because it's not like they're doing anything special. It's not like they're making content. It's not like they're, you know, like being a pro esports player. They're just like kind of grinding. It's just like meaningless. So like they're not even talking. It's just like going through the motions, and no one is saying anything. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? It's like, I wish I never want to be in that limbo, because it feels like a limbo where you're just like kind of like you're just sitting there. And like I could be wrong. Like I hope I'm wrong, because like probably 500 people are enjoying themselves, and more power to them. But I'm so glad I'm not in that situation. But it's still weird to me out. It's still weird to me. So yeah. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, he's still around here in the 17th hour or something like that. This is the mindset that social media encourages. Every opinion has to be strong. After you take has to be hot. Reasonable opinions are too boring. Dude, like also this entire thing that you have to be right all the time, or like you only have one point of view. Dude, I'm gonna change, and I'm gonna be wrong. And I'm gonna be like, my opinions are gonna change maybe tomorrow even, because maybe I thought of something new. Like I'm just saying things as I say right now, but I am as changeable as anyone else is, and I'm like as fallible as anyone else is, and I'm not gonna have extremely interesting hot takes. Just like not like yeah, it's not as extreme as people think. There's some people on Twitter who want my head on a silver platter. Funnily enough, holy shit, dude. Don't forget that not having opinion is also scored. Oh yeah, that's the worst offense. It's weird when I'll find a token streamer, I can have a chat with them, but the rest of the chat is somehow still dead, and I feel like I'm hugging up the chat because no one else is talking. Dude, I feel you, and that still happens. That still happens with like partner streamers and like I love having that interaction. I'll chat as much as you guys, and it's like, then like no one is there, and I'm like, what? Why is someone talking? But like I'll still continue to like chat away, because like I just think it's fun, and fuck it. If no one wants to go and talk up, fuck it, I'll talk up, and I'll just have the conversation to myself. From what other people have said to me in other channels, chats, chat interaction, and feeling including by other chatters makes viewers much more likely to stick around. I definitely think that is a thing. Have I joined a stream I've never been in, and the streamer says like hi, but also have like a chat that's kind of like supportive and like, hey, how's it going? Like you can actually have a conversation with chat. You don't just stick around for talking with the streamer, you'll stick around for talking with the chat. So yeah. Did I hear penis? Let's talk about that a little. So penis retro. How the penis is your penis PC? Are you enjoying your penis PC? Is your penis enjoying your PC? How's it going, man? Like how's your first full day, or like second full day? Because yesterday we didn't have a stream. How's your second full day with a PC? So I'd say that has a lot to do with it. That's basic psychology. Oh man, that's deep. Jamie, pull up that comment where someone said penis. Holy shit! Someone else is watching Joe Rogan. Fed of the car. Are you still watching the JRE like after you go on Spotify? Because I've stopped watching. I thought like these podcasts were kind of like just like fun to put on when they were on YouTube, because like I could just like put them on YouTube, just like go do something. I don't have a Spotify account, so like I would have to create one, and just the hassle of like creating one is like too much for me. I just can't be bothered. I mean, yes, I'm speaking in terms of returning to the channel in the long term. There's a lot of big channels where that isn't a thing, but they pull in thousands of viewers. I think like the thing with the thousands of viewers is the attention thing, and this is why attention is so much important. It's so important. or at least, like, I think, my theory is that people are generally likable. Like, I think that everyone here in the chat is very likable. If you guys were to start a streaming career, I would love to watch your channel. I would love to see you succeed. I have no reservations. Like, I don't, like I have no reservations about, like, oh man, I hope you don't succeed. Like, I hope y'all succeed, because I think y'all are likable people. I may not know you, like, very much, but I think y'all are pretty likable people for as much as I've seen. And it's the same thing when I look at, like, the biggest streamers or the biggest YouTubers. Like, PewDiePie seems like a very likable fella. Markiplier seems like a very likable fella. I don't know much about them, but if I see them, they seem pretty likable from what I've seen. And that's what I think the deal is when it comes to, like, advertisement. The reason why they succeed so much is because people know their names. So it's like, if you go to YouTube and you don't know who you're gonna watch, well, you've heard about this, like, PewDiePie fella, let's go check him out. It's like, you go check him out, it's like, oh, hey, shit, you know, they're actually not that bad. And you just, like, follow him, because, like, why the fuck not, right? And I think that's the same thing with, like, most people, like, that aren't, like, that don't have a mic that's complete ass, or don't have, like, a video feed that's complete ass. As long as, like, your stream is somewhat acceptable, but, like, people just, like, check you out, and it's like, oh, yeah, they're pretty likable. Like, you know, people tend to follow, right? So, like, that's kind of the thing when it comes to, like, why is attention so much worth? Why is streaming and why is entertainment so much worth when it's just all, like, attention on something? So because attention is so much worth it. Like, there's so much worth in attention. Attention on your brand. A lot of brands make good products, but how many brands do you know about that make that product, right? So, but yeah. Rahab, would you want to come back to a place where you don't feel welcomed or included? Mate, I'm a bisexual ginger. However, I'm only living in England. I'm not the best person to ask about it. I've not had much of that choice for most of my life. You probably have the idea of, fuck it, I'm just going to do it in spite of them, Rahab. Also, hiya, fellow ginger. Also, again, there are definitely channels that don't have those kinds of chats. One of my point is that there's definitely a reason for that continued engagement despite the channel size. Honestly, not really. If people are dicks to me, I generally just shrug and move on. That's the best way of going about it. I love my computer. I just need something to deal with it. Everything runs like butter on ultra graphics. Do you have Cyberpunk? I love the computer. Oh yeah, I love Spotify. The autoplay song recommendations is giving me so much new stuff. I never really got into it because like, I had YouTube at the time, so I still have, like, all my music downloaded to, like, my iPod, so... Alabama, man, how's it going, man? Good to see you, dude. So, yeah, I heard that the problem with starting streaming is that you're having no one to talk to when you have 0 viewers, but then when someone joins and sees you be quiet, they leave, so you have to force yourself to talk to yourself? Absolutely, yep. That is something you have to get used to, but it's also, like, what are you giving, right? So, like, if you have a channel where you're completely quiet, like, it's really hard to, like, have someone, like, watch that and, like, continue to watch it, because, like, there's nothing interesting about, like, a video feed of, like, someone just playing a game and, like, not saying anything. You can't get anything out of that, because the only thing you see is the game, and there's nothing being added to that. So, like, how are you gonna figure out whether this person is someone you like or someone you won't like? So there's, like, you can also have, like, you're over talking to people. Like, this is also what I've seen where, like, someone joins like 0 free viewer stream, they watch this first viewer, and then, like, streamer's like, hey, how's it going? Oh, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Like, this is the worst you can do as a streamer, by the way. If you started with streaming, never be like, oh, hey, Bob, I just saw you join the stream. Why don't you say something? Hey, it's good to see you. I see you right there. Like, you're going to scare people away the fuck. Some people just like to lurk. Just let them lurk. But yeah, like, the thing is you're going to have to create a certain type of content. I think that, like, discovery on Twitch is absolutely fucking horrid. I say that as a top 5%er of Twitch. I don't fucking know how that's real, but that's real. But yeah, like, discovery is fucking horrid. Discovery for me is horrid. So discovery for everyone is horrid. Like, I think your best chance of growing Twitch is start a YouTube channel. I hope that takes off and then start Twitch. But yeah, it's like, if you don't have anyone to watch, you're gonna have to talk to yourself. But, like, it doesn't just mean, like, oh yeah, no, you should just, like, you know, talk to yourself, because, like, that's what people like. No, like, instead of, like, doing an interaction stream, you should do a content stream. So again, a content stream would be like a playthrough. A content stream would be like a podcast. A content stream would be like an ASMR thing. So it's like, it's something which, like, you could watch just on YouTube or just on Twitch without having that interaction element to it. Just something you could tune into, like, you think it's fun. You could just, like, kind of, like, get a feeling for it. It's like, I think a playthrough is something which, like, is something which most people do. But you're just gonna have to have this focus on, like, hey, I am now given a show, right? I'm doing a show. I'm not having an interaction stream, because there's no interaction you can have if there's, like, no interaction. So then you're gonna have to be, okay, so, like, how are you gonna approach a game if you want to do a playthrough? It's like, you gotta make sure that you, like, keep people informed, like, what are you doing? What are your decisions you're taking? Why are you taking these decisions? What are you feeling right now? Make sure that it's clear what you're feeling. Like, if you're seeing something that's beautiful, like, if you're playing a game, like, don't be like, Wow. Shit, dude. That's beautiful. I was not expecting that. It's like, that's something that you wouldn't do yourself, because like no one is like playing a game. No one's like sitting like this, dude. If I ever find you on an airport, or if I ever find you like somewhere just like sitting around where I have to wait, or if I see you in a bus, and you're just like playing on like your Steam Deck or any remote console, and you're just like playing like this for yourself, and you're just like, holy shit, dude, that feel! Ooh! Ooh! Oh, yeah, baby! Ooh! I was not expecting that at all! I'm just gonna slap you, dude. Holy shit, keep that to yourself. No one plays like that. But that is like you can't have this thing where you're just sitting there like... Like, that's not entertainment. So, yeah. Ah, man, oh man, oh man. But, yeah. Let's see. I don't have Star Citizen or Cyberpunk. I guess I'll try some RTX in Minecraft. Yeah, let me know how that water looks like. Cardboard Cowboy addressed this once on one of his streams. His answer is just to ignore the viewer count and act as if you have an audience anyway. Yep, make it a content stream. Isn't that a big no-no to call out lurkers? I mean, like, if people start out, like, they don't know the big no-nos, so... Like, I also know a lot of people that will just, like, join someone's stream and be like, hey, I'm just about to start my stream. And, like, the reason why people do that is because they don't know that's kind of like a no-go thing, because it's kind of, like, rude. But they feel like, a lot of times, like, they do that, like, because they've been watching a streamer, and then they want to start streaming themselves, and they're like, oh, hey, I'm just gonna be about to start my stream, because they, like, they're kind of proud of that they're streaming too, and they kind of want their streamer to know that they're streaming too, because, like, you know, they think it's fun, and, like, they want to relate to that stream, like, hey, you know, I'm doing this too, but then they kind of forget that, like, this is something that you don't really do, and, that's, like, a lot of, like, some people just, like, straight up ban, because, like, yeah, it's kind of, like, rude. I tend to, like, just tell people, like, hey, man, that's kind of like a no-go, but, like, a lot of times people just don't know that. Starting out, you almost need someone else with you. I couldn't imagine starting alone. You could definitely put together some cool builds in Minecraft to make them look fancy with that rig. Twitch is rolling out a booster system where you can buy this exposure. Oh, that is horrid, dude. Oh, man. That's a new topic. Let me catch up with chat, and then let's get into that fucking booster system. Holy shit, that's bad. Missions against Mind Briefing. Good, man. I generally want to keep listening to new stuff and rarely re-listen. And YouTube autoplay likes to give me stuff that I've already listened to, and sadly it's not for me, sadly because it's free and Spotify isn't. Guess that a lot of, seen that a lot at work, but I work with the more expressive people, I guess. Slap me, I'm whipping out the electric Filipino stick and I'm whack you. What's up, Jen? How's it going? Misha, I can see if I can find an article again if you were interested. If you have an article, just like throw it in like Discord or something, because then I'll find it there. Yeah, that booster shit is some god tier cringe. So so my problem with the booster thing, we've already talked about this like a couple of streams ago, but the thing that I have with the booster, the problem that I see with it is that I personally already am not the biggest fan of like the way that hype trains work, because as I said, like I'm not the biggest fan of like people, hey, please be happy that I get money. I always really like is like, hey, buy merch, buy people's products, buy something. Because, like, you'll spend money and you'll actually get a fucking product. You'll get something worth for your money. And, like, people like to argue then, but, like, hey, man, you're paying for the content. The content is free. You're enjoying that for free and you can give back. I'm like, yeah. I know that some people can get that satisfaction. Like, for them, the transaction works reverse. And I can very well understand that. I understand that, too. I've done that, too, sometimes. But I say, like, the top tier is, like, get a product. Below that is, like, you know, just give money because, you know, you want to support the content. But all the way below that is, like, pay for their advertisement. Fuck that. It's like let's say you were to like walk into like a store. You can either buy the Nikes, or you could be like, hey, you know, Nike is such like a cool but small brand. Hey, you know, I'll just tip, right? I'll buy these Nikes, but I'll tip like a little bit more, right? Which is fine, but it's so weird. Or you could be like, hey, I don't even want to buy the Nikes. Here, I'll give you money. Put out a billboard for me, please. But put out not for me. Put out a billboard of your like shoes that you're selling, please. You know, just do that, right? Here's money so you can advertise. You're paying for their fucking advertisement. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. That's ridiculous. However, the weirdest thing about it is that, first of all of the money you're spending is going to Twitch. None of the money is going to the creator. So you're not benefiting the creator. You're benefiting Twitch. Okay? All the money is going to Twitch. Secondly, what are impressions? They say for $3 you're going to get 3,000 impressions on the recommended tab. Now, I have never seen a recommended tab on Twitch that I've been interested in. The only recommended tab that I've been able to find is if you scroll down on your on your follow channels, there will be like a couple of channels underneath that say recommended to watch. You gotta scroll down for that. Okay, so then if that's the place where it's gonna be, first I'm gonna have to scroll down for it if I even want to see it. Okay, so how effective is it gonna be? Secondly, what's an impression? Is an impression that I click on it, or is an impression that it's shown up to someone, right? And if it's shown up to someone, doesn't mean it has to be loaded in on the page and scroll up to their eyesight, or it's just like, if I load up the page, and I don't even scroll down, so I have no chance of seeing that, but it's still like loaded up there, does that count as an impression? Most likely, that might count as an impression. Let's say that counts as impression. 3,000 people just opening up the front page. Don't even check that. That's $3 wasted, right? Nothing changes. Okay, that's just in the best situation. You're the only one that's using that. But okay, so like the best situation, you're the only one that's using that, but like no one sees it. There's no growth. Now, I'm not just like now I am someone that's given $3 to Twitch so that you, the streamer, can grow. But you didn't grow because all the like interactions were garbage. Now I have given $3 so you grow, and now you don't grow. Dude, what the fuck is up with that? Why are you not growing, man? Like, I paid so that you can get growing, but you're not growing. Why the hell are you not paying? Or, the other way around, I'm a streamer, I see people around me growing. Like, boys, why the fuck are you not spending money to make me grow, man? Why the fuck are you spending money? Like, how dare you? Come on, guys, we need to grow. It's like, fuck that. Like, I really hate that the pay-to-win thing of it. And that brings in the most egregious elements of it. It's like, hey, make it pay to win. Who's got the most money to spend on the impressions? Guess what? Who's gonna spend the most money on getting those impression size? Like, you're just monetizing the system, and it's pretty much just rigging it, like, in a way, and I don't like that. I think it's all around a bad idea. All around a really bad idea. So yeah. Tribal, what is up? Battlefield 2043? Frog noises. Whoop, 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 whoop. I already got it installed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play it. I thought that we had EA Play on Xbox Game Pass, but it didn't want to let me play Battlefield 2042 like right now yet. I wasn't able to get in. But tomorrow we'll be playing Battlefield 2042. By the way, Tribals, reset your password if you haven't done so already. You got to do that. If it's good merch, sure. But to be honest, I'd rather give a streamer a sub than buy a black tee with their logo in a square on it. Absolutely, absolutely. Like, the thing is I feel similar to that too. In a sense of like, in the ideal world, I would like I'd say buy merch, but otherwise, you know, sub. Like, and I do that too, because like I think that a sub for $5 is much better than like buying like a standard t-shirt with like a logo printed on it. I do have like a merch store, which is like, yeah, like it's just kind of like the standard stuff. I think this right here, I would love to sell these hats, because like I think that like this right here is not just printed on, it's like embroidered, and I like it. But I personally like it. That's why I'm like, you know, made it for myself. And like that's something where I'm like, yeah, maybe at some point I could sell that if people are interested in it. But I think that channel merch is only interesting if it like really applies to really well made. Like just slap something on a t-shirt and like print it on there and like, it's gonna fade over time. It's like, yeah, man. I like it more when it's like custom made clothes, or when it's like, for instance, like the lockpicking lawyer just like created his own like picking like line of like mobile pick sort of thing. Like it's just like this like Swiss Army knife, but I'm full of like, you know, lockpicks. And it's like, that's really cool because that's a tool that I can use. Like that's fantastic. That's why I like streamers that that offer other things in exchange for the subs, like the game sub servers for games like Minecraft, etc. I think that's cool too, but at the same time, also like the reason I don't offer rewards for subs or for or for Patreon is because I already don't have enough time to like make as much as I want to, and I don't want to exclude people that have been around the channel forever but don't have the money to like support, basically. I want to like right now, because I don't have the capability to like make as much as I want to. Like, let's say that this were to be like a business where there's so much money coming in that basically, you know, I can hire people, like I can hire an entire team so we can do whatever we want to do. At that point in time, it's like, okay, so now we can have time to like spend things to Patreon or spend things to like subs, and then you can actually like make that like do something more for that. But I don't even know if I would do that still. But yeah, a quarter of my current list comes down from recommended, the rest comes from raids and other streamers I've met in someone else's stream. For me, it's like literally like everyone I watch through other people's streams. It's like collaborations that way, or just like they just showed up, and like, or just people, and like people here, if anyone in my community starts streaming, I'll follow them. If anyone that like if I'm part of a community and someone starts streaming, I'll follow them. Or if like I'm with someone and now someone else streaming, they rate someone, they seem cool, I'll follow them. But yeah, the new system is also rigged towards females in general. I just think it's like everyone that just wants to, you know, just wants to have people spend money towards them. Some are recommended, some have some good stuff. Most of it's trash though. It's really hard to like find someone though, because like, how different are they? Like how are you gonna find someone like stick around with them? It takes a while. But yeah, weird. Reset my password on what? Grindr on Twitch, because Twitch got their entire like source code leaked. I made an everyone announcement. I never do that, but I thought this was important. Some data was leaked as Twitch HQ. Sounds weird when I say that. Jen, it wasn't not just some data. Twitch got leaked. Like literally, Twitch got leaked. Everything of Twitch got leaked. If you want to see how much your favorite streamer makes, that's something that apparently people all just fucking care about. Bada bing, bada boom. Here are the exact numbers from the last 3 years, how much everyone has made. Woo! Everything is out there. Every fucking thing is out there. Twitch source code is out there, so people are going to be tearing apart Twitch. Twitch is not open source. Woo! Some data, Jim, more like a lot of that. I do have two-factor authentication, that's good, but I would still reset it anyway, because like there have been rumors that like password files have been found. If I ever go to a convention, bet I'll be rocking that MP merch. Hell yeah, dude. Oh man, Grindr ain't worth the effort. Like being a frog on Tinder. I mean, 100 to 500 gigabyte of data leak, which holds a billions people's privacy info, is like some in their eyes, in my opinion. Yeah, like text files can get really small though. So it's like if there's just like passwords around, like all the data of all the streamers, right? All the streamers' payout information. Literally all the streamers, right? Literally all the streamers from like the past 3 years was about, I think, 5 gigs or something, from what I've seen. So yeah, you underestimate the amount of data then, I suppose. Yeah, it's literally over 120 gigabytes of data, and obviously it's all going to be text files. Like I also think like it's probably not everything, but it was also called Twitch Part 1. There might be a Part 2 following up, so you don't know how much there is in there. And I personally think that like. The fact, like, to me, it's, like, I cannot imagine a world in which a security system is set up in such a way that someone can access the source code and every file of, like, all the hidden projects and can access the personal earnings of Twitch streamers, but they cannot access, like, the personal details. I find that strange, right? So, oh, 130 gigabytes. Yeah, I heard something about, like, 120 or something. But yeah, like, that's something where I'm like, yeah, that is... Most likely assume that's out. Better assume that it's out, and you know, it wasn't out, than it was. Good stream, I'm ahead out. Frederick, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, man. Like, we've been going on for a long time, but it's been a good stream. We've been talking about a lot of things, so appreciate it. Enjoy your rest of your first day, and I'll see you next time. So yeah, alright, time to reset my password from 69 hentai to something else then. Maybe 70 hentai, or hentai 69. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Ah, you're a man of culture, Jin. You definitely are. I appreciate you too. See ya. Also, there is something which I have to like bring up to you guys, which kind of relates to like the money stuff, and I also have to like do a bit of a I'm sorry apology sort of thing, where basically like you guys know like how like recently I've been here like some of you have been like getting more ads where like all of a sudden like Twitch has started like playing ads like in the middle of the stream as like we were like what the fuck's going on. Well, today I was going through my settings because like. I was going for Twitch because I had to, like, the stream key was reset. I wanted to reset another time. I wanted to reset my password. I came across my affiliate settings, and apparently the ads button had been turned on to automatically, like, put free ads every hour in a stream. I didn't know that was on. That must have been, like, turned on at some point in time. I think it's been turned on, like, a couple weeks back, which makes sense around the same time that people started talking about it. I thought it was, like, some sort of Twitch thing, because Twitch was also talking about, like, audio ads, and we were seeing more of that. When I discovered that, I turned it off, because I don't like that, since I've also seen today, I was actually chilling on someone's stream, Twitch ads came on. YouTube ads are already horrendous, with 2 ads sometimes, most of the time 2 ads. Twitch brings in 5 fucking ads. Like, dude, that's insane. Like, 1 ad breaking up the stream, alright, you're pushing it, okay? 2 ads, ooh, you're getting close. 5, fuck off. I think that's so bad. I think that is so fucking bad. So, yeah, that is something where, like, I'm sorry that that happened. So, how much time did they total to? It's about a minute. Because, like, I think, like, what it did was, like, it did do this automatic thing, like, the 1 minute ad break sort of thing. The thing that it did do, is that it did do, like, an insane number on, like ad revenue. So like I can kind of see when it turned on because I can see when the ad revenue spiked. So like normally I would get like 2 cents of ad revenue, and now it would spike up to like what was it, like about 20 cents of ad revenue. Like ad revenue spiked by 10 times. But like, so like I can kind of see like when the thing was turned on. Now, I'm kind of like, wow, like, honestly, like, basically, so, like, I can see people, like, I can see why people do that, because basically it's like, per stream, you're making 10 times as much from ads as, like, you would without it. But I just think it's, like, so disrupting to the flow that, like, I don't know. If it's at the start of stream, whatever, midstream is terrible. Yeah, me too. I hate that. So, yeah, it was several times midstream. Yeah, I heard about that. Like, yeah, like, I was like, I actually, like, legit didn't know that this shit was going on. So, I was like, well, is this Twitch doing something? And today I was going through it, and, like, there's some weird-ass, like, hidden thing where it's, like, ads. Like, probably this is when they just want you to have to be turned on. So, yeah. Hey, Quantiquad says, I assume the stored password are encrypted, but I have no idea how easy it is to decrypt them. Since I focus on all the wrong subjects in computer science, I have zero useful knowledge. Yeah, like, I wonder about that too. Like, basically encryption should keep it encrypted for quite a bit, but at the same time, so many people now have access to it, like, this local access, that, like, they have all the time in the world. And how they avoid ad blocks is also terrible, thanks to it injecting it into the stream. Yep. It's like, the only way that I can really see, like, how ads would be functioned properly is if you would break up the stream. So, like, let's say I were to go and take a break. I'd be like, oh man, I'm just gonna go take a piss or something. I could see people do it. I could see me do it, but yeah. In my opinion, if during a break period, go well with ads till we get back. Yeah, I think so too. But the problem is, I never go on a break because I think it's weird. To me, it's like a stream is a performance. I'm not going to take a break from my performance, right? But yeah, it's like, yeah. That was going on. Sorry about that. It's whatever. It's turned off now, and you will never, like, see it again in that degree because I think it's not good. It is, like, I really don't like it. I really don't like it when all of a sudden it just breaks up. And, like, yeah, I can understand that when it's, like, performances have intermissions, though. I know, but, like, right now, like, when would I want to take a break, right? You know, we've been going on for 2.5 hours. I should probably go to bed soon. But, yeah, like, yeah. Man. Good, one less worry to deal with. I don't think pissing your pants will be a great addition to your performance, but I guess some people are into that. But, like, that's the thing. Like, my performance never goes on long enough that I have to piss my pants. You know? Because my streams generally are like 2 to 3 hours at most. Ads, I feel a bit better on YouTube because while it can be disruptive, at least you don't miss part of the video and you can rewind if they bork up a scene. I need to watch in one go. I still think that, yeah, like, that's a big advantage over Twitch. And at the same time, I also feel that I don't like mid-roll ads on YouTube. I think before and after is fine. In the middle, I hate that. Like, the thing which I personally like more is, like, if it's integrated. So, like, yeah, if there's, like, a break, I can see it happening. But yeah, like, I never really do breaks because, like, the thing is, it's like, my streams are at most, like, 3 to 4 hours long. Between 2 to 3 hours on most streams. Sometimes I go for 4 hours, really long. But the thing which I found is, like, I've done 8-hour streams. I actually don't know how I did that, those 8-hour streams, how I did it with breaks. I must have taken breaks then. Integrated is also horrible. It depends on how to do it. So, like, for instance, I don't mind the Linus Tech Tips one, because with Linus Tech Tips, it's like, it's done very straightforward, where they're like, hey, we're not telling you that you should use this because, oh, we play Raid Shadow Legends, we love this game. No, they're just saying, here's a message from our sponsor. They want to tell this. It's like, it's very straightforward. It doesn't take more than 10 seconds because, like, because it doesn't take more than 10 seconds, it's literally just like tap tap. You know, you can skip that. I also don't mind, well, what's it called? Common Etiquette, Internet Common Etiquette. He, like, integrates into nice little bits. He makes, like, fun things about it. I like that. It's fun to watch. I really hate the ones where it's like, hey guys, welcome to the video today. I hope you guys are going to have a good time. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. And now, before I get into it, I'd like to tell you about our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. We love this game. It's my favorite game. I play all the time and I never play. Fuck that. Dude, I hate when people are, like, disingenuous like that. I like ads at the start of videos because I can close and reopen the video for half a minute until it opens without an ad. Yep, I do that too. I do that too. Unless you use AdBlock, then hey. But yeah. Yeah, like, what I found when I did the 8-hour streams is that, like, the, like, what I would get out of an 8-hour stream, I would almost get as much about, as well. Internet stories ad breaks are the best, yep, and, what's it called? What's his face called? Oh my god. Casually Explained does it very well, too. I like the Casually Explained, too. Same, but no ad block on mobile. Quantify, do you have Android or iOS? If you have Android, YouTube Fonts. Go look it up. I always dislike and leave the moment they do that double whammy myself. I have ad block on mobile. Yep, if you're on Android, look up Fonts. You'll find me later. uBlock has one, if I recall. Yeah. I know, like, I know I'm kind of, like, shaking myself since, like, oh, man, my revenue should be based on ads. Fuck that. I know it's annoying. Like, I also know that, like, the people that will want to block ads will figure it out. Heard Fonts was bad, though. Dude. I run fans on my phone. It's literally just like the latest YouTube app. It is like you can play, you can just turn off your screen. Like it's literally just like everything. I love it. God, excuse the boomer poster, but I remember when the internet had no ads. Holy shit. Well, I remember when the internet had just like wild ads. Like they would just like flock the entire page, man. But I do remember the day that YouTube got ads and people just flipped their shit. And I still kind of remember that. I still remember just like, yeah, but YouTube's not supposed to have ads. Like, fuck that. What is YouTube supposed to do with ads, right? Like, that was so weird. I remember that. I still remember that kind of clearly. YouTube getting ads was specifically the reason I got ad block. Yep, me too. But yeah, the stream boosting, holy shit, man. I also remember when there was a massive ads on every page about the most random stuff before adblock became a thing. You can turn off your screen. I thought that was against YouTube TOS when I was looking for alternative YouTube player a few years back. Dude, get YouTube phones. Like, YouTube phones is like if you have like, you don't have to root your Android device, you can just install it. But if you want to like sign in, I think root is required. Not quite sure, but I just don't use it signed in. Fantastic. YouTube phones, check it out. Because they're so damn invasive and performance damaging. To me, like, I don't know what it was. Like, to me it was like... What I also hated was when they removed, like, listening when the screen turned off. It was like, that was just a feature that was there. And then they removed it. Like, fuck that. Screw you. I mean, like, I'm saying I'm allegedly using it. Supposedly. Maybe. No. So, yeah. Check out phones. Do your research. So, yeah. Anyway, so apparently you can opt out of... No, wait, this community challenge... Boost... Seems like you can opt out of the boost. I'll probably do that. I'll give it a try. Yeah, give it a shot. Like, just do your own research as well, by the way. Could have worded better. I mean, the TOS for the API that their sites and apps use. I think it's just like a straight up... Like, I don't know how it works, but it seems like it's just like a straight up rip of the app. But I don't know. I don't know. Was there anything else that I wanted to bring up? We talked about the Twitch leaks. We talked about, like... security concerns, reset your password if you haven't done so already. I talked about like how I think that basically the entire thing of I don't really care about the about the income of streamers. I think it's kind of like distasteful. People wanted to know how much people earn. I do think like the thing which I found most interesting from that was like learning how much like mid to small streamers earn, especially coming from someone who like apparently is a mid to small streamer that's in the top 5% of Twitch. I'm like, what the fuck? I think that is kind of interesting just to see like how, like, to me, like what makes it most interesting is like with big streamers it's clear that they just have millions because they do. You can calculate that yourself. But when it comes to like mid-sized, small-sized streamers, like you cannot really, like, if they don't tell you how many subs they have, like you can't figure it out because like there's no way of checking that. So like if they go on a spiel like, please subscribe because I can't get by, and then you learn that they're earning like decent figures a year, like that is weird to me. And I'm kind of like, I don't fault them for it because, like, hey, it pays their bills. Their communities aren't getting mad. Hey, that's up to them. But at the same time, I do feel like, bitch, the fuck. But yeah, regardless of that, like, I don't really care if that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. I'll just be more wary. I personally don't want to be subbing to someone because they really need it. Fuck that. So yeah, that was that, and then we just talked about like more stuff. I guess I'm back. Password reset and done. Hell yeah, dude. Good job. Could have worded better. I mean, let's see. If their job is related to the topic, I'm more inclined to believe them. I don't know what that was a comment on, but like, yeah, if people are actually experienced in the field, it's more likely, yeah, you have a greater reason to like believe them. That's for sure. So yeah. But yeah, that was the Twitch League stuff. So I'm curious what's going to be coming out next with it. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, so far that's pretty much all for tomorrow. We'll probably be doing well, for sure. We're doing the Battlefield 2042 open beta. It's gonna have crossplay, so if you guys want to install it tomorrow and want to go play some Battlefield, let me know. I already got it installed on the Xbox. I'm already set to go. New videos out on the gaming channel about the Halo Infinite open beta. Took me a little while because I'm fucking busy. There's a lot to be done. But yeah. But hopefully the Battlefield video will be out faster, and always more stuff coming down the pipeline. That's kind of it as far as I know, but if there's anything more that we should get into right now, let me know. Otherwise, yeah, let me go take a look. Maybe we can say hi to someone. You're gonna be playing Monster Hunter Rise PC beta? When is that? Monster Hunter Rise PC beta. When is that? Like, keep me updated, because, like, sure. I think it's like the 13th of this month? If there's a way to get in, for sure, dude. For sure. Hold on. I'll just, like, note it down. Did you hear about the Moss situation? What's the Moss situation? Monster Hunter Rise PC beta 13 October. What's the Moss situation? Balls, holy shit. Right, I'm gonna have to end the stream there. That's it. That's fucking it. That's it. Can someone ban the mod? Holy shit. Okay, so streamer murdered live. Alright, so we have live right now. We have Nassif playing Silent Hill 2. Wanna go like do a raid to Nassif? I like Nassif actually. He's kind of fun. Banned! Travel saying ban. By the way, can we is there a way to make super mods? Like make super mods where like Tribal can like actually ban other mods, or like am I the super mod? Dude, Tribal, remember when you had to ban me? Holy shit, dude, that was so much fun. Like that time when I asked you to like time out my message and ban me for my channel, and you couldn't do that, even though it was like that, because that was a time in which I posted an NDA document in the chat. I actually posted an NDA doc from like Warframe in the chat by accident, and I was like, "Holy shit, Trevor, can you delete that shit?" And he's like, "No, because you're the streamer." Oh boy, that was man. I have a 30-second ad for Nassif. Hopefully that gives him some money. But yeah, I was like, I can't, dude. That was a stressful fucking time, man. That was a stressful fucking second. But at the same time, everything went alright. So like, that's also the thing. I don't worry, because like, what's the worst that can happen? I'm getting thrown out of the partnership. I went out anyway, so didn't lose out on anything. It was a fucking fun time though. So anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. We've had like a 3-hour stream or something, which has been absolutely insane. I had a really good time. We had some really good conversations. So when was that? And can I watch that file? No. It was like years ago. It was like the most used Warframes of that month. It was absolutely nothing. There was nothing in there. Like the Warframe NDA stuff was never something interesting. There was never anything in there that was worth, like, basically everything that was on the Warframe Twitter we got on the NDAs at the same time. So like, if you followed their Twitter, you knew as much as we did. It was like ridiculously nothing. So yeah, that is something which like didn't really bring me all that much. But it was just like they sent it to me in an email, and I was like, oh man, let me check it out. And like I kind of wanted to like. I was like, let me check it out, whether it's something interesting, in the off chance it's something interesting. So I copied the link, and someone was like, oh, do you have a link to a Discord? I was like, oh yeah, here, sure, I have a Discord link. And it come for like, I just do paste and enter. I'm like, wait, that didn't say Discord. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. See you guys tomorrow for Battlefield 2042. Right now, we're gonna go over to Nassif. Nassif is a really chill streamer. Like, I really like Nassif because, like, he's just pretty much down to earth. He's not really doing this for, like, the money or the fame or whatever. He's just, like, you know, a really chill guy, just playing some really weird niche video games. Also does some Warframe from time to time, and he's just, like, really chill. Pretty fun guy. Say hi to him if you haven't seen him yet. I think most of you guys are familiar with him, but, yeah, say hi. He's playing Silent Hill 2 right now, and he's got a really beautiful purple background. Say something about his beautiful purple, but yeah, he's just doing it for the lulz. Yep. Anyway, I'll see you guys around. Goodbye, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another stream of Battlefield. Goodbye, nerds!